Hello, good afternoon, everyone out there. It's good to see you and to be here also. Happy Christmas in advance. This is going to be our episode before the Christmas comes, and I'm sure that all of you are having a good time. This is the time to mix with your people both in America and the ones in Nigeria. My name is KJ, and I'm sitting in for Dr. Rudolph, the owner of this channel called Dr. Damages. But today we'll be doing on 90 Minutes Africa, and we're going to have continuation of what we all been discussing earlier on. And today is going to be like a free flow. You tell us what have been some of the things you've seen, some of the programs that the events that happened around and the world and all that. So let's start from today, because our guest originally is not available today, and he has rescheduled that, and we are just going to have everyone give us what you think of the channel so far, what you think of our moderation, what you think of any of the hosts or moderators, and feel free to give it to us full time, because if you don't, we also give it back to you. One of the things I like about journalism is that you have the ability to argue and see things from a different point of view, and that's what Dr. Damages was saying earlier. We know, actually, if you look at the work of research, you start from the unknown to the known, but most times you have an idea of what the known is going to be. And I can say that confidently as a documentary maker, that when you set out to put your script together, you know where you want to land. And so you know how to begin and place your videos and your audios, clips and all that, and then to achieve the result. Sometimes the result you may have in your mind may not necessarily be the right result. Again, you as the producer still have the right and the authority to make an adjustment. And that adjustment may from what the original is. But that happened in the work of arts. And that's why arts is totally different from science. Science, they go from the unknown to the known, to the unknown to the invisible. I forget how they put it now, but to something that is also unknown. But when they arrive there, they see what they are looking for. I take example of those who made the Coca-Cola. When we were growing up, we were told that the makers of Coca-Cola didn't set out to make Coca-Cola, but eventually arrived at something that we all enjoy today, and we like the taste. So the question in the arts is that you can choose to criticize. It's okay. In fact, people like us, when we had, when we were reading theater arts, we had the opportunity to criticize our lecturers, criticize the book writers. A critique is part of the teaching of theater arts. And so when you pick up a writer, you can actually say what you like about it and what you don't like. And the person is not supposed to take offense. That's one of the areas that, is actually a very strong area, critique. It's a strong area in theater. And many of the professors of, literary work come from that end. And that's why when you read certain people, they can. And one of the things I like about Wole Soyinka's writing those days is that he brings you all the knowledge to a point, but he allows you to make your final decision, whether what you have been able to present is true or not. You decide finally. There are some writers like that. There are other ones who actually tell you, they lead you to the point where they want you to see, and then you can make, you can now decide whether what they have been able to, profess through the writing was right or wrong. There's also a book I read, when I was growing up, because I loved reading. The author makes you to decide each page, each chapter. At the end of it, you decide where the story should go. If you think the story should go A, he will tell you to turn to page so and so. If you think the story should go B, he tells you to turn to so and so. And it was an interesting way of reading because it taxes your mind, it taxes your understanding. It gives you to be like in the driver's seat, driving, okay, the writing the book with the writer, and you make all the decisions. So in today's Nigeria, those kind of people are no longer needed. People who call to question the status quo. Before, when we were growing up, my father of blessed memory used to tell me, never stop to question situation and things. Never stop to question. Question. Let it be that you ask the right question and not giving the right answer. And I think that's how most Igbo families grew up. Even in Tivland, where I grew up for a very long time, that's how the fathers also bring up their children. I remember a story when we were growing up. A thief man who was living behind our house, it was raining and the thunder was so much. And he had a small child that she must have been around 4 or 3 years old. So when the thunder struck, the little girl ran and was shouting. So the father picked her up. I said to the little girl, in other words, where are you going? Can you run away from God? That's what he asked the child. What you heard is God's listening. Can you run away? Where will you run and go and hide? You can't hide inside the house. Okay? Know that's how. So this is how we find ourselves. People like that no longer exist because if you question the situation and seek to know, they call you a political enemy. And so today we're going to open this real quick. I have my brother in the backstage, Tony. Tony, you're welcome. I also have my brother Chim and many other people. Let me quickly also put the stream online so that more people can come in. Yes, Tony, you're welcome. And please, yes, tell us.
Thank you, KJ.
As you say you're welcome, also tell us what is the most interesting or what you want us to actually look at today, which has been one of the stories that trended in Nigeria and probably even turn around certain heads. Again, let's also even pivot a little bit to what was going on before. Do you think that Obi, from every other booby trap they've set for him, will be able to make any meaningful mileage come 2027?
Greetings, KJ, and greetings to I see Mazi Opara from Germany. Chim, greetings, and then those who are in the comment section, I greet you all. Compliments of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you were to ask Obi to speak of his experiences since the 2023 election till now, I think many of us will not be able to hold back tears. I know that for certain. That the man has gone through a lot. They have investigated him inside out. They have tried to disrupt his business. They have tried to stereotype him. They have tried to demean him. His personality, his business, his family, his children, his wife. They've done all sorts of things to him. Once we heard of a failed attempt to kill him, and I believe that there's so many other things if you were to get him to speak. But because of the very sensitive position that he occupies now, he's not going to be able to say everything because, like the Igbo adage goes, it's not everything that the palm wine tapper sees while he's on top of the palm tree tapping that he says. So, but that said, I feel so bad when I hear people make comments like an Igbo man cannot become the president, and you're asking what is the basis for that. The Constitution doesn't say that. The Constitution guarantees everybody who is a Nigerian the right to run for the presidency. So the tribe should not be an impediment. And For me, I think that there are so many unanswered questions that we actually have to try and find solutions to if we want Nigeria to move forward. And part of it is trying to actually make a clean breast of what happened in 2023. There are people who know. For instance, people in PDP know exactly what happened, and that's where I find this country, very, very strange. We get snippets here and there of people saying, "Oh, we know he won Lagos. We know we had almost 1 million votes from Lagos. We know PDP had 110,000. We know APC had 150,000. PDP said it. And there are people who are coming out to say, oh, we know who won the election in Rivers State. And some of them have even gone to the extent of reading out results and so on and so forth. But the one that pains me more is that INEC, that is supposed to be the umpire, has behaved in such a way that I used to think that Iwu was the worst electoral umpire chair, of our electoral body that I have ever seen. But Mahmoud is much more, worse than Iwu. And to see that kind of person being compensated with an ambassadorial position is for me something that is I can't fathom. So when you look at the whole atmosphere, and I go back to Obi, I think that he has done well. I think he has carried himself very well. Even in his utterances, I think he has been very, very seasoned, very moderate, and not caustic with his tongue. Because I think they are waiting their banana sleep pills that they have lined up for him, so that he will make a statement, and then he will go in for it. If Obi had made some of the statements that he had made, Obi would be in detention or in jail by now. So Dati has made some very, very provocative statements. And I wanted to say, ask Hassan, who came in the first session, if he did watch Obi before, what's his name, in a Rise program, before, what's this guy, Charles Anegolo, when he said certain things that were very, very provocative. And I was saying, Anegolo, I was just saying in my mind, Anegolo should just stop him not to go further, because he was veering into certain areas where God knows what he wanted to say about the vice president. And he was going to say that if anybody had done what this man had done, and I mean, somehow he stopped, so I think there are issues. There are things that people know and they don't want to say. And that's the problem with Nigeria. Unless we begin to discuss freely where we have failed, where we have made mistakes, and then that probably will bring healing, and then with a vow, with a determination now to begin to do things properly. Until we do that, I don't think that, there's hope for Nigeria, because I mean, we can't continue to sweep things under the carpet, and doing the same thing all over again and expecting a much better result. No, I think we have come to a point where the signs are very clear. The indication, what we see is ominous. The future is not. People are looking at 2026 like an Armageddon, if you see government policies and the kind of thing that they're saying. So, and I think that we have come to a place where people, no matter what your ethnic persuasion is or your political alignment is, I think we have come to a point where we just begin to identify those things that is bringing us back where we have made mistakes and see how we can forge ahead and move forward. With respect to Obi, do I think he's going to be on the ballot? He has said so, that he's going to be on the ballot. Until he says no, he's not going to be on the ballot, I can't make any speculation. Let me leave it there.
Okay, thank you so much, Jim. Tony. I like what you said. You see, the thing is this, and that's what I fear. You see, there are many many things that happened in the past that the people never recovered. One of them is J.S. Tucker. J.S. Tucker had a middle belt grip, and they deceived him to say, look, bring middle belt into the NPN, and then we will support you to be Senate president. It never happened. It never happened. Now, remember, also, the same thing happened with Nnamdi Azikiwe and many other leaders who can call, who were given, some, the true, in fact, we don't even need to go far. Look at Adewole Mahi is here. Rochas Okorocha is there. These are people who were also given an opportunity, and that opportunity they had, they sold it, they traded it. I think if you ask me, I would have said to Obi, if I was advisor, step backwards, allow your vice to handle that period, because nobody was going to arrest him if he didn't say anything. So those people will have executed that, but haven't missed that golden opportunity that even Rotimi Amechi can come out and say Obi won River State. Then imagine what would have been if we just pushed a little bit. But that's, that is now in the annals of history. Let me leave Chim. Chim, which one will you pick up also from your stories in 2025 that is saying goodbye to us? What will you say? And in relation to Obi, I mean, you have already made your point. They are very clear. So speak on any other thing that you think you want to talk about in this issue.
Thanks, KJ, for having me, and good day to everyone on the show. Let me just, start off from where you left off, and then I'll proceed. When it comes to this whole, you see, people think, of course, if the election is holding right now and I'm eligible to vote, I will vote Obi if Obi is on the ballot. But the fact remains, unless there's a serious miracle, I don't see how Obi, because I don't believe Nigerians have learned anything. When we talk, we're talking as though we have people who have looked at the last 2.5 years or thereabouts of this government and are feeling that, oh no, we shouldn't have done this. There are still die-hard persons who are not able to sit back. I voted Buhari in the first 2015, and I can defend that. But I can also admit that was a big mistake. That's the place where I don't think Nigerians have really come to. Elections have consequences, but the matured electorate is one who casts a vote and looks back and says, no, I made a mistake. When given the next chance, I will correct that. Now, that's one side of the whole gist. The other side is the fact that we don't have a system that is credible. So even if you cast your vote and you're hoping the outcome will be different, there are no guarantees that the umpire, just like Tony just rightly said, with all the evidences available, the umpire who has the accurate information is in denial. So there is no guarantee that even if Nigerians were to be that mature electorally to vote, that their votes will count. Nigerian votes don't count. Anyone watching me and saying I'm spewing conspiracy, that's good for you. I'm not going to contest that with you. But we all know from the depth of our hearts, if we're being honest with ourselves, that Nigerian votes don't count. So, whereas in 2019, if I was voting, I wouldn't have voted for Buhari a second time. I wouldn't have dared it. There are still Nigerians who, irrespective of how flawed the system is, still really cast their votes for that man. And they still carried on with that casting of a vote for APC and cast their vote again for this particular person who's in office right now. I belong to a particular group I don't want to mention just in case people are watching. I want to keep people's privacy. It's an alumni of ex-colleagues. I exited that group and I told them I'm not coming back. People I respected. This is an international company. It's an American company that had operations in Nigeria. I worked with other people. People we've all left, so we formed a WhatsApp group. And I saw people I thought I knew brewing ethnicity. And I was taken aback. I said, did I really know you? I saw people who worked with me in an organization where we followed ethics and principles. You dare not sign anything, approve anything or do anything. You can't even give a purchase order to a vendor without going through the right process. I saw these people overlooking certain excesses of this current man who was in office. And I asked them, if we were all working in that company and this guy was brought to us as CEO, would you guys accept him? Of course, the answer is no. People know this. So I just wanted to make the point that I think that Nigerians haven't learned anything. So I'm not expecting that 2027 is going to be any better. We still have very educated people who are, you would think, know better, who should be able to look back and say, but you know what, no, we can't let this keep happening. But because of their ethnic enclaves they come from, religious biases, they still support those things. So as for Peter Obi, my views are that he should, well, it is within his right. I'm just expressing my views. If he wants to contest, he go and contest. This is right. But the point remains, nothing has changed. So I don't see what is going to change. As for what I think in 2025 was, you know, the height of my own stories, it's still this tax law. Listen, the guy in the saddle is a notorious, I'm looking for the right word, is known for not doing things properly. Please name anything associated with this guy that is clean. Is it the contestation of his name? The contestation of when his birth certificate? The contestation of whether he went to school in the places he went to? Please name one thing that is clean. So that kind of person cannot in good faith come into office and offer anything different. The guy is offering you his character. He's offering you his personality. He's telling you, this is who I am. So for him to have, this is a rubber stamp legislative assembly he has. For him not to have put in everything he wanted and given to them to rubber stamp for him, he took what they passed, went back and doctored something, and now it's becoming an issue. We're hearing they're bribing people here and there, left and right. The guy has one principle: what money cannot solve, more money will solve it. It's all about how much are you worth. And I know where he learned some of those things from. You know, everybody has a price. As far as it's concerned, there's a price for everybody. He has a price himself. He's paid his own price. So he believes everybody has a price. And of course, the men in the National Assembly he's dealing with, they all have a price. So I think that is the biggest story for me. It's coming at the end of the year. There are other stories, but that one comes out more for me. Why? Because we're dealing with something that has consequences on Nigerians and their livelihood. And I told someone before this guy, I said, this man is a conscienceless man. He doesn't have a conscience. The guy we're dealing with does not have a conscience. If people think this man is somebody who goes in and sobers, Buhari has more conscience than this person in office. The late Muhammadu Buhari has more conscience than Tinubu. This guy doesn't have a conscience. He does not have it. There's no sacred grounds for him. Everything can be desecrated. And on his pathway to whatever he wants to accomplish, he will desecrate anything that stands in his way. So how Nigerians decide to deal with it, if the National Assembly will have the balls to say, no, we have to roll back this policy, go back and correct it. There will be no consequences, trust me. But I don't think anything is going to change. And then lastly, if you permit me, please, I hope I'm not. The other one is the story about Dangote and Farouk. Listen, right now, anything that is on the, if anybody who does anything on the way to favor the people, I will support you. I don't necessarily like Dangote, but if he's the kind of person who would unmask some of those things, fine. If another person comes and unmasks him, I will also celebrate the person. I don't care. What I know now is all masquerades in Nigeria need to fall. How they fall, I don't care. As long as the masquerade falls, and that's all I'm interested in. I'll leave it at that, and I'll come back when you give me the next chance.
All right. Thank you so much. All masquerades must be unmasked. Bam. I agree with you, my brother. And there are many masquerades. In fact, if you have 100 people working in Nigeria, 95 are masquerades. So, and it's only half the 5% remaining that will mark the 95. And that's going to be a bit of a Herculean tax, but we'll come back to that. Brother Mazi Opara, welcome from Germany.
Yeah, you can hear me very clearly, right?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, good evening once more. Tony just said something that's exonerated what I said before. Tony just mentioned that if Peter Obi was his vice, what do you call it? Ahmed, that's right.
Yeah.
That he would have been, the DSS would have arrested him long ago for making some, insightful statements. Then Tony also said that anybody who says that Igbo man cannot become the president of Nigeria, that person is not, is wrong. Then you see the contradictions. If P2B, maybe he made some statements and he will be arrested, and somebody makes the same statement and that person is walking freely, then tell me how could somebody like P2B can become the president of Nigeria if he cannot even express himself like other people are expressed, like Ahmed that expresses himself. The issue we have in Nigeria is that most of Igbos who are educated, Tony is an Igbo man, most of us who are here with that, well-educated, grounded, we find it difficult to call a spade a spade. I am not against an Igbo man becoming a president of Nigeria, God forbid. But the way Nigeria is constructed, the way Nigeria right now is constructed, I don't see an Igbo man becoming the president of Nigeria. I listen to Northern Nigeria radio, mostly BBC and Radio France International, because whenever I'm less busy, I listen to them on app. You don't know how these people call Northern Nigeria or call Northern Nigerians the way they see you Igbos. Few weeks ago, a sheikh, Jingri, he was on live television telling his followers, this guy has a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Millions. He was telling them, instead of Obi or any woman can become the president of Nigeria, wallahi, let us separate. And they were telling him, Allahu Akbar, in a mosque, live television. So when we come here and look at Obi, Obi is a good man. Obi is, trying his best to fix Nigeria, which I know that even if you give Obi the opportunity to become the president of Nigeria, it's very difficult to remedy Nigeria as the way Nigeria is constructed now.
Sorry, don't be offended.
Yes,
I
sir.
think in your narrative, you also have to state that there were people from the north who came heavily against Sheikh Jingri. I think it's important to also say that.
Yeah. But when you look at Jingri, and that, because I watched that the contra opinion too. When you watch them and the standard, because over there is hierarchy. You have sheikh, but you have more sheikh. Like the one that died a few days ago. What do you call it? What do you call him now? Dahiru. That one is in fact is the Mahdi of northern Nigeria after Ahmadu Bello. So there is sheikh and there's sheikhs. What I'm trying to let us know is that Nigeria is not ready. The way Nigeria is constructed is not ready for Igbo man to become the president of Nigeria at the moment. P2B is a good man, he's trying to his best, but I don't see him becoming the president of Nigeria. This thing happened last 3 years ago. We were on a WhatsApp group, and I said this, a lot of people were very angry with me. After the whole result was announced, most of them said, oh boy, how did you see this? It is not easy. The Nigeria we see today is not made for you and for me. It's just, we are just like kind of willing tools. Let Igbos vote as long as they don't climb up to that, highest level. There is two political positions that Igbo man cannot at the moment, maybe in the future, reach in Nigeria is Nigerian presidency and High Commission to UK. These two positions, it is going to be difficult for an Igbo man to be in those offices until something is, changes. Mark it, Nigerian High Commission to the UK and Nigerian presidency. Unless it is constitutional, like I have said this in many times, make it constitutional so that it will not, and rotational, so that whenever it comes to the Southeast, we know that this is our time. Whenever it goes to South, they know that it is their time. Jonathan became the president of Nigeria accidentally. Without Jonathan, without Yar'Adua dying, Jonathan would have ended up as a vice president, and they to go back to the Southwest. That is how Nigeria is as we speak. That's how Nigeria is constructed. And our Igbo brothers, those people who are also in high positions like senators and governors, they're not helping the issues. You see, there are even our worst, our worst nightmares. They don't help Obi. You see them kicking against Obi. You see them talking against Obi. In whatever Obi does for them is not good. It's not enough. So I wish him well, but I don't see him going to a Labour Party. I don't see him going to ADC. I think he's not going to give me any time to head ADC. I'm forecasting that maybe he might use another Zenith Labour Party and then get the presidential candidate, but winning the election is a different thing. Finally, let me tell you, 2015 was the day Nigeria made the worst horrible mistake. I am even sure that Chim, as educated Chim is, that Chim voted for Buhari. Are you kidding me? Buhari.
No, that's his choice.
Excuse me. Let me, because when you go back to this thing,
and I'll explain it later when KG gives me a chance. But I'm not kidding you. I did in 2015.
Yeah, because it's not about tribe. Buhari was the guy. 1983. He woke up in the morning, grab a Kalashnikov, AK-47, remove an elected, democratic elected government, and somebody who, because then I was a young man, about 18 or something like that, and then somebody after 30-something years, this guy came back, and somebody who went to university, somebody who has his, is telling me today that he voted for Buhari. What Buhari did when he was a dictator? What did he do? What did he do that made you to vote for Buhari?
All right,
the Nigerian problem.
Can I respond when he finishes?
The Nigerian problem started 2015. The day Buhari took power, that was the day Nigeria problem started. Thank you.
Thank you. Chim, you have 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. So Mazi Okpara, I understand that sentiment I'm not offended at the sentiment you made, even though it's like a snide comment, but I'm not offended. We're having a conversation. So the truth about the matter is this. You see, with the benefit of hindsight, which is what it's called now, we can say what we want to say. But let's not make our analysis in isolation. Before 2015, when this man came into office, let's also not forget some of the things that were happening under the government of President Jonathan, based off also the information some of us had access to in terms of what the media was feeding us. We always forget that there was a lot of corruption crime under Jonathan. We always forget. The problem is that when we move forward and one person the next president makes the other one look good, the one before him look good. That's been the history of Nigeria. If you're saying, why did we bring Buhari back? Why did we bring Obasanjo back? Obasanjo also came to office as a military guy. He was part of a coup. He was part of a coup in 1977-75 that ousted Gowon before they assassinated his boss and he became head of state. He was part of that. But we also gave him a chance. Now, In 1983, there were a lot of things that necessitated a coup happening. Let's not always make it look like, but even though it's not right to have coups, but as at that time, that was what we knew. Shagari's government and the MPN were running Nigeria into a problem. I was a young man, I still remember it. Those guys did not care. What Shagari's government, MPN, was doing is akin to what we see APC doing today. The leadership and the politicians didn't give a hoot what the citizens were going through. And Nigerians were calling for a coup. The coup after that, Buhari's own, rumors have it, I know it's accurate, but I'm just putting rumors have it, that the man who was behind June 12, called Abiola, was the one who funded the coup. So if we're going to be going by this, then there's no Nigerian that is decent to be voted for.
Okay.
That's the point. But we don't have, let me end here. We don't have angels coming to run any country. It's human beings. Angels don't run any nation anywhere. We are going to make do with the politicians in first of us. Unfortunately, Buhari was given a chance to prove himself. He made people have a nostalgia for a Jonathan year. The same way Tinubu is making people have a nostalgia for a Buhari year.
And it's what we need to. Chim, one question for you. So, what is the reason why, in just less than 30 seconds, what's the reason why you stood to vote for Buhari?
One, there were people being kidnapped. Children were, Chibok was happening, and the government initially denied it. Jonathan's government denied that anybody was kidnapped before they accepted. Let's not forget this. I was living in Nigeria. I wasn't living in diaspora.
Okay, and at least I follow, hold on, sir. I followed that report a bit, because I was also in Nigeria at that time. It wasn't like clear. It wasn't like by the way, I have a friend who was okay, I won't call his position with that government, government, but he was on ground, and for them, they look too staged to be true. Even for him, yes, I'm coming. Even for him, but they kept pushing it. So the question Jonathan government was asking then is it possible for over 300 girls to be kidnapped and they walk at night and nobody saw them while they passed and where they went to? So that question was there.
So that we don't make this a topic of the day.
No. We are discussing events that are past. So is it possible that such a number of people can be taken in a go without anybody seeing them anywhere? That was the question. And then government at that time invited them, the Borno State government, and the parents of the children, and the Borno State, well, for one reason, let me not say Borno State, they refused to come. That was what led to, is it God? Yes.
Hold on, listen. Let's not make excuses for government. What is
No, I'm not making an excuse. I'm stating
you sound like you're making an excuse.
No, I'm not. I'm simply saying this is what led to Patient Goodluck making that statement, because the women and the parents of the girls refused to come.
I hear you, my dear. I hear you. What I'm just simply saying is this: I'm a citizen of Nigeria. At that time, my interest was good governance of the country.
Okay.
My interest was to put myself in the shoes of the parents whose children were kidnapped. I live in Lagos, and I was imagining if this thing comes down, all of us will be swallowed. Listen, I made a decision. It's like asking people who voted for, I don't know anyone.
No, that's what I asked. It was a decision you made.
Yes.
That's all. You don't owe anybody.
But the point is, in 2019, if I was voting, I would not vote for him a second time. Simple.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear, because
excuse me, Chief. Were you among those people that were calling us the wellers?
I didn't call anybody weller. Just
no. Even if you call the wellers, it's okay. But I voted for Olufalaye. I voted for Olufalaye.
In 2015?
Yes, not for 2015 when he contested.
I voted Olufalaye in 1999.
So why I'm bringing it in is because anybody can make any choice. So nobody should hold you for your choice you made. That's all. That's all I'm trying to.
Okay, please.
Yes.
KJ, please. If you indulge me, I just want to correct one or two things that Mazjokbara said about Nigerian not being a high commissioner in the UK. I'm trying to research it, but I don't have time. Maybe we can check. I think Matthew Umbo, at the time was Nigeria's High Commissioner in the UK. Please cross-check it.
You are correct, but Martin Mbu is not Igbo. Martin Mbu is from Cross River State. In fact, he's my in-law. So,
okay, he's from Dikinafai. Where is Dikinafai?
Matthew Mbu is from Cross River State.
Okay. He speaks Igbo. Matthew Obi Mbu. You know,
at that time, he was the first Minister of External Affairs. At that time, they didn't have any division. They didn't have any problem being called Igbos, and they spoke part of Iyala, part of Cross River State speak Igbo. But I'm not going to go ahead and say
because I know he speaks. I'm saying after the war.
I'm saying after the war.
Okay, Tony, now let us leave that one.
Sorry, Tony, before you go ahead.
Yes.
Margaret Ekpo of blessed memory.
Yes.
Is from Cross River. She speaks Igbo.
Okay. Now let us go to the most powerful country in the world. Now, in the United States, we have had an Igbo person, Olisemeka, is an Igbo. We have had Joy Ogu, who just died, is an Igbo. And then during Buhari's presidency, he put his friend, a very old man, I've forgotten his name.
Who was using this to work.
Yes. Yes, very good. He's an Igbo. So I don't think that it is right, because I mean, which one? If they ask you to take an ambassadorial position, UK or America, I would choose America.
UK. What is America? UK is more important than Nigeria than America.
The point I'm trying to make is that when you begin to make such insinuations,
but research, now do your research.
No, hold on, but I just giving you. I said
UK. I said UK.
It's not right. America is a choice place, you know, for anybody who is given an ambassadorial position. Hold on, please. No.
Listen, let him speak now.
Listen. Let us make the point. You know, I'm not. You are entitled to your views, but I'm saying that the view that you are purveying here is not quite right, because if I just giving you 3 names now of Igbos who were ambassadors, you know, not in Burkina Faso. Hold on, not in Burkina. If we look to Germany and we look to Italy, you can find Igbo people there. So please,
UK.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to.
It matters.
It doesn't matter.
UK.
Why is UK so special?
I said 2. Nigerian Presidency and the UK.
I've given you 3 names.
I said UK.
No, you see, this thing that you're purveying is not right.
I said
That's
UK.
what I'm trying to say. So I'm not trying to argue, but I'm trying to say.
And I know why I said UK.
Maziopa, let's get to the ground. What do you say UK?
Because UK, being Nigeria colonial master, UK is almost the problem Nigeria is right now. UK created Nigeria, not to America. And whenever you see these people, when there's election, they don't go to the Washington, D.C., they go to Chatham, they go to the UK to pay their allegiance, not to Washington, D.C.
Adewole was a defense attaché in the UK. Nigeria's defense attaché. Adewole.
I'm telling you after the war. I'm telling you after the war.
Let's move on.
I'm saying UK and Nigerian presidency. I'm not talking about America.
I understand where Tony is going. Tony is going from you are saying before the war. Tony is saying, well, after that, Igbos have been given that opportunity. But what I thought you were going to tell me was exactly what happened to Mr. Ojukwu, who was then given National Population Commission, because there are documents that are there that are secret documents that have not been hitherto perused by Indibo or the Igbo people, which may not necessarily be in favor of the East. So if you say that's the reason why probably they will not give that to somebody from the East, it's understandable. But before the war, before Nigeria began to fall apart, Chief Matthew Mbu was one of the Nigerian extraordinary ministers. In fact, he was so as powerful as presidents, because he was like our fathers of those days. They were very brilliant in their manipulation, or rather their diplomacy. So Matthew Mbu was so powerful, in what he did, and he was called one of the Zikisims. So a very protege of Nnamdi Azikiwe. He represented Nigeria very well to a very good extent, and till tomorrow they still refer to some of his policies. But let's move on from there. I understand your position. I also understand the position of Chim. After the war, the only other guy who became a general after the war was Ike Nwachukwu Sanda Nwachukwu. So, and at that time we all were told that because he's one of his matrimony.
That's not correct, KJ. That's not correct.
Who was the one who became a general?
What are we talking about? What is the degree? Where do you call generals from? What if across all three?
No, we are talking about in the Nigerian military.
Yes, now as I said, hold on, Air Force, Navy, and Army.
Hold on.
There was Ebutu Ikiwe, Commodore Ebutu Ikiwe. That's a brigadier general.
Hold on now, my brother. Hold on.
I can name more.
Hold on. If you come to the military, the Nigerian army leads the force. So it doesn't matter what other
military. You didn't say army. You said military.
So I'm talking about the army. The army.
But you were saying military. So if you're naming military, Chijioke Kaja, close to you and me, was an admiral. He became admiral.
No.
It's the same level as Ukewachukwu, same period.
The army leads the force in Nigeria. It doesn't matter what other rank.
I agree with you, but
so let's leave
that. The military.
No, Ukewachukwu, by the way, okay, let's leave it at that. But I'm just simply telling you what politics was on the ground. And he was the first Igbo man after the war that made it to a general in the Nigerian army.
Good. I agree on that one. I agree with you.
So because it is when you are the soldier, the Nigerian army leads the force, and by your positioning as a senior redneck officer, you have some form of control or overall control of the rest of the people. But let's leave that. It's not the reason why we're here today. And let me go to Okpara. I hope that I'm able to express myself. I'm not trying to pander to anybody.
No, sorry. 1 minute. I just googled now. I just asked AI if an Igbo man has ever become the High Commissioner in UK. Said no. Igbo people have not become the Nigerian High Commission in London. But Igbo leaders and groups like Ohaneze regularly meet with the Nigerian High Commission in in London to discuss Nigerians' unity. That is what AI is telling me.
Okay, we are not disputing that. He had made the point very clear, and he referred and called the name of Matthew Mbu of blessed memory, who was an extraordinary external affairs minister. And that's it. That's it. I don't even think he was an ambassador. He was an external affairs minister. He
became an ambassador too, but he was in the Nigerian foreign affairs for a long time.
Yeah, it's like he was
Emeka that Tony mentioned, two of them. Emeka became Nigeria's High Commissioner to Canada.
Yes, he was there up to now. I think his ghost is still in that place somewhere. Okay, let's go ahead.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead, Chris.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. KJ, thanks for having me. Two things. When people say Obi cannot be president or no, where I stand is that it will be useless for him to be president. But whether he can be president, yes, of course he can. The problem with most Igbo politicians is that they are useless, including P2B, because they start off by saying they are detribalized. So they don't carry along their ethnic nationality. Then that's the problem they have. Other politicians carry their ethnic nationalities along with them. So, if Obi wants to win, he must first of all make sure that he has his people on his back. And he will need to have an entry strategy. He can use entry strategy to win the election. What is entry strategy? You find the vulnerable positions of the person you or the object you want to attack. Enter through those vulnerable positions, take over the system and destroy it. Now, if you look at APC today and Bola Tinubu's government, you can identify three problems, three vulnerability. One, the masses. Two, technology. And three, time. So I will discuss just one of them, the masses. Nobody is happy with APC government in Nigeria today. Maybe a few. So what will they do? They will either buy their vote, suppress their vote, or disenfranchise them completely. So what will any opposition who wants to win do? First, identify your core voters. Spread them. For instance, you know, in Lagos, they are trying to change the demography there. Okay? What do? You take them, move them back to the east, where they can register and vote. Now, you need maybe 1 million votes from Imo. You need 1 million votes from Anambra. You need 1 million votes from this entire east. That's 11 states. You don't need to win Lagos. You only need 25%. So you could actually do those things, identify them, your voters. Make sure they go there to the to pick up their PVC and then bring them to the election, bring them out on election day. So in other words, the party or the obedient movement or whatever they want to use, what they need to do is to identify those who intend to vote for them. Make sure they are registered. Okay? And then those are the likely people that are not likely to be bought. So if he has 20 million voters and he can bring them out on election day, he will win. That is on the masses. Now, let me give you another thing about technology. This present administration is vulnerable in technology. If they apply technology, they will lose. So what do? You apply technology. They can't stop you from using technology. Actually, I was listening to one obedient movement program one time. They say they are trying something on capturing the voters on that day. You know, so real time, something like that. What is it called?
Beavers.
No, is it IVF or whatever? What's it called? You know, the INEX something, the portal, you know, where you can have actually, okay, they captured something that needs to have, you know, real-time event, real-time numbers of election or the real-time event of the election on election day. So they need to set up what is called situation room. Okay, so that every vote that is cast, that is counted, they get it just at the time they were counting it. That's what the technology they need to get, and they can get it. It's easy. So, time. I won't say the time. I won't discuss the time because it's very critical here. The things that we need to do and how they will do it. Okay. So these people are vulnerable with time, and if they do get it right, they will be in us to rock.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one. But
yes.
the point I'm making.
Still one. I thought you had finished. You can take it.
No, I haven't. I haven't finished. Please. But I'm just saying that when I looked at the whole thing, the P2P's trajectory, it's not going to help anybody in Nigeria because I don't believe that Nigeria is structured to succeed.
Okay. All right. We can, that. If you hang around, we can make that a topic because there's so much interrogation.
Okay. Now, what do you want? What do you want, Chris? Since the structure, everything is false.
Yes,
again,
want? Going into the Chris.
What do I want? Okay.
Yes. What is your
I've said it on this platform that no society develops without culture.
Say it again. Say it again. For those that missed it the first time, say it again.
I said.
Sam, we know that already. We know his position.
No society
some people do not. I do not know.
No society develops without her culture. The difference between Africa and Asia is that the Africa refused to go back to their culture, and Asia has gone back to their culture, and they are moving forward. Now, why is that necessary? If you look at what is happening today, the Fulani is trying to push her culture to every part of Nigeria, and that is called internal colonialism. And that is the problem Nigeria has. So if Nigeria is going to move forward,
you want every ethnic group to assert their culture. Yoruba, put your own. Igbo, Efiki, Bibio, Urobo, Ichekiri, Idoma, TV. Everybody assert your culture. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Their culture.
Yes. No, but let me tell you something else about it. Let me tell you something else about it. Okay.
Yeah. 1 minute.
There are cultures that are compatible. The problem of Nigeria is some cultures are incompatible. Okay? Some cultures are very, very incompatible. For instance, the Sharia is highly incompatible with the highly democratic culture of Igbo people.
Okay.
Highly incompatible.
All right. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Okay, let's move on. Oti. Yeah, we're discussing issues that arose in 2025. And you probably will take the same position with Chris, but you may also introduce your own and be free. People may ask you questions and they may interrogate you and they may give you a different side. So today is a different,
yes, KJ. Well,
all right.
I like taking questions and I like asking questions. Really, it's not. I don't just talk. Most of us come here. Most of us actually are good and at talking, and perhaps no better than chatterboxes. It's theory and practice are quite different things, And now, let me start off with this. And I have actually, what I've written, the KJ and the Chim, I really have to, because it's not the first time I'm hearing this from both of you guys. This Obi didn't do this, Obi didn't, I'm not sure any of you has offered, or rather explain what he could have done after the elections. Okay, so anyway, you will have time to address that, but I think what we're doing is this, excuses, not thinking practically. Well, at least Chris has done something, offered a practical, a practical action. What could be done? It's not theory or just kind of giving up, just rolling over, which most of us are doing, including Opera. Now, we listened to Ngozika because she was here earlier, and she was kind of almost crying, bemoaning, and for good reason, because Nigerians, the rollover, no kind of no pushback, no. Well, you talked about confronting the situation, and I ask myself, most of us that come here, are we doing anything better than that? I mean, that's exactly what we're doing, because we're now elections are going to be coming up in 2027. We still have a whole year, 2026, and we are in our various places, kind of in a privileged, comfortable positions. Lack of imagination, nothing, no practical action, or just giving up. It's not gonna work. What kind of life is that? Okay, so when you think about what this government, has done and is doing, and we as Nigerians cannot think of anything we could do to actually remove the government from power. The government that has lost all credibility is only talking how impossible it is. I can't fathom it. It beggars belief. I can't really understand. So really, what's then of what use is our if like exposure, our education? Okay, so that's the question I'm asking myself. That's the way I look at it. So we got to try at least. I mean, you got to try. So
Okay.
have we given up?
Does anybody have question for him?
So he said, it doesn't make sense to me. So now you see, okay, right, okay, just ask me any question, really, because I don't believe in talking and going on and what is the practical thing to do? That should be the question. What's the practical thing to do?
Okay, so will you want to tell us the practical thing to do?
Well, I mean, at least Chris has said something here. Okay.
Okay.
Well, okay. So
yes, Opara wants to ask a question.
What the name was called?
Opara, you have a question for him?
No, he was saying about solution. I've said my solution. My solution to you can make Nigeria work perfectly, but they don't. Those people, I mean, according to Aisha Buhari, said the cabals. Those people are holding. There are some people, very, very small people, who are holding Nigeria at a very dangerous place.
All right.
For example, if you want Nigeria to work, it's very simple.
Sorry, hold on, but I want to ask Oti this question. Are you saying you don't know what can make Nigeria work, Oti? You don't know what can make Nigeria work?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not the question I'm addressing. That's not really what I'm saying.
Okay, because I think everybody in Nigeria who is thinking know what to do to make Nigeria work. They don't want it to work.
He had a question for me. He said,
the whole trust. What I wanted to say is essentially to kind of to challenge the view, the position, Chim and KJ. What you guys, that is really my the thing for me. Because I mean we can address different issues. Okay, but well, I'm just interested in saying that this is really it doesn't I don't think it's a valid point. Because you guys have not offered what the alternative, what he could have done.
All right.
Given that he lost
Chim,
what the law required him to do.
Chim, you have 1 minute.
In court. Okay.
Chim has an answer for you. 1 minute, Chim.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, KJ. So his question was that we criticize Mr. Peter Obi, and now what would we have not suggested what the man should do or should have done better. I have said what Peter Obi lost. I've said it here severally. Maybe you didn't listen, or maybe you were not in the show on that day. Let me repeat myself. He won an election that he was denied. people are going to say I should prove my point. I don't have any point to show you.
Sorry, before you go on. So does he declare him? Does a candidate in an election declare himself a winner?
You're not letting me.
No. So, remember, you're saying he won. Who declares it?
Let me finish now. I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay, let's move on. Chris.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, go. Just 1 minute, Shim. Okay. We need to get to other people.
All right. So I believe he won the election. He believes he won the election himself. His vice believes he won the election. A lot of people believes he won the election. Now, after he was denied and he didn't pursue it any further, the system did what it did. He still had a loyal partyman who won elections into the National Assembly at federal level because of him. It's a fact. I said here, this guy should have used that power behind the party to control these people and control the way they act and vote in the National Assembly. He didn't do it. He went about acting like, I'm not in control of them. Let them go and do what they want to do. This is Nigerian politics. If you are coming to Nigerian politics, there's some level of madness you need to have. We're not doing it in America. Even Trump, who was out of office, managed to rein in Republicans when he was outside, that he was able to come back a second time. When you don't take advantage, they say you strike while the iron is hot.
Okay, thank you,
Tim. Excuse me, Tim. How would he have been able to control those elected?
Okay, good. So, no, KJ, please don't be offended. Please, I know you need to.
Because other people are waiting now.
Okay, so at the beginning, do you remember there was a time he called for his party men, they came for meetings? Did you remember he did that at some instances? He should have continued that kind of thing. He should have made sure that the party will hold those members of the House because they would have been afraid that, listen, if we go against this guy,
Chim, are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Tinubu, wait, now what are you kidding? You're asking me, so let me speak.
Okay.
This Tinubu that we're talking about, who used to be an opposition with a minority number of people, he did it. The only
okay, let's end
by this. Tinubu said something which we know. Tinubu said power is not served a la carte. Power is not served a la carte.
Chim, you are wrong. Tinubu founded the party.
I want to be wrong.
Very wrong.
Tinubu founded the party. He didn't found any party. He did.
He did not found AG.
Guys, calm down.
He did not found any party. That's not true.
Please, Chim, hold on. I'm one of the reasons why I'm so happy when I see Chim is that Chim's village was selected for Ruga, so my own is not selected. He doesn't have a village, as you see him say now. Okay. We are prepared to make space for you people just in case. All right. Let's move on. I have very heavy hitters, in fact, behind the stage, and I don't know why all the heavy hitters are here today. So you guys take it easy, so everybody can get a chance to speak. My brother Ike, go ahead, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending from where you're joining us. Happy Sunday to everybody. JJ, what topic do you have?
We are looking at what stood out to you most out in this 2025 as we're rounding up, and all you see is people's topics they picked up, and other people ask questions on it. So it's a kind of a very fluid, but we want to make it cordial so that people can be able to ask, and we have a control session. Anybody who is tired, I have two gentlemen outside. Pablo is harassing me on the listing, and my brother Destra is also behind. So let's go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Let me step out so you can bring in one person. Put me on the backstage.
You can put me on the backstage.
Yeah, go ahead. What happened?
KJ, you can put me up at the backstage.
Okay, thank you, sir. Go ahead. Ike, go ahead, please.
I came in and I hear we started from the other side. Everybody was talking about Mr. Peter Obi. That's what I'm hearing. Mazo Opara said what he said, and Chim has his own opinion like every other person. Um, a lot of us who, let me speak for myself. I don't want to speak for somebody else. Participation, I wasn't in Nigeria, but I know what I did towards the obedient movement in 2023 in Nigeria. Morally, financially, materially, and otherwise. I'm not just an obedient because Obi is obedient, because Obi is obedient. No. We know what we went through. Some of us at a time, after everything went by, we wanted to give up the hope. But because Mr. Ike Alamefle sincerely believe in the man I'm following, and that man that I am following is Mr. Peter Obi, and I believe in everything that he stands for. Everybody was saying he didn't recover his mandate, or he didn't take his mandate, he didn't order people in the street, he didn't order Nigeria in the street. It was your vote that was stolen. It was your future and your destiny that was stolen. Peter Obi's mandate and destiny was not stolen. Mr. Peter Obi can wake up tomorrow and decide that he's no more interested in Nigerian politics. He has nothing to lose. He's a multi-billionaire in dollars and pounds and naira. I'm one of those people who would not have supported Mr. Peter Obi to ask people to go to the street. The same people you are fighting for, the same people you stood for, they are the same people that they are going to lead into the street, knowing the Nigerian country, the Nigerian context of a country where we live in. You have expected Mr. Peter Obi to lead people into the street, when you know that he's the only man that they are looking for, even up to as we are speaking here tonight. He followed the due process. Even though we know that what happened in the Supreme Court wasn't what it was supposed to be. But that is the final bus stop we're supposed to go as long as the judiciary in Nigeria is concerned. He went through the process and the process has gone. And after the process came to an end, he addressed Nigerians that he will continue to be in the political space. From that particular day that the Supreme Court election finished, Mr. Peter Obi has been in the political space. Do you have any opposition in Nigeria? It's only Mr. Peter Obi. He has never rested for one day since after 2023. He has been touching the same life we have wanted him to destroy. He has started touching those lives. He was touching those lives before now. And he has started continually touching the life of the same people we were expecting him to destroy in the street of Nigeria. Part of his life is touching life, giving people hope, people who have lost hope. His life is all about trying to lift people up, trying to give them hope and give them opportunity to become something in life. That has been what he has been doing for Nigeria. He's not doing it in one particular state of Nigeria. He has been traveling all over the countries of Nigeria, doing the same thing he has been doing all his life. And everybody is saying, because he didn't fight for his mandate, therefore he should go and sit down. What is the understanding of an Igbo man in Nigerian politics? Oh, politics is not served a la carte. Yes, we know. But politics will not be served in a la carte, but it should be able to determine and understand your own position in that Nigerian context. Before your own politics become, it doesn't serve politics in a la carte. If you say Mr. Peter Obi should not contest election, are you ready to contest the election? No, you want him to go and support Atiku. A man of 80 years, that is the opinion of an Igbo man that Mr. Peter Obi should back Atiku because he's not going to win election. Is it the more that you must contest the election and win? Is it a must that everybody who have contested the election must win election? Somebody will have to lead that way. Somebody will have to clear that road. Somebody will have to make that road easy for Mr. Oti to go and contest that election this time and win election. It's not a matter of life and death. Obese politics is not a politics of life and death. The obese politics is a politics where everybody should feel a sense of belonging in a country called Nigeria. So for 2027, I am still believing in the man that I believed before. And I am still going to work for the same man. From January, when he makes a pronouncement, I am going to still be an ardent, obedient supporter. And I will still do what I want to, what I have the power to do. Whether he wins election, he doesn't win election. It doesn't make any sense. Those people who have been representing you, those your political people who have been representing you from the Southeast, what have they done for you? They have represented their paymaster on your own behalf. And now we are talking about, we don't like the brand politics of Mr. P2B is playing because we want us to play the politics of Tinubu and his group. The same system you are fighting to destroy. The same system you said that system is rotten. That is the same system you want him to go and play the same kind of politics. Then why are we deceiving ourselves? If it is all about grab it, steal it, and run away with it, if it is the only way that somebody who wants to serve his country is the only way that you can win an election in Nigeria. Mr. P2B said he believed in due process. He wasn't a member of Labour Party. How many months did Mr. P2B join Labour Party? And somebody is telling him that he did not take the power of Labour Party. The same thing he said he is not ready to do. Every political party must follow the party let them process, and every party must follow their process. He washed off his, after all, he was the leader of the party. After the presidential election, he's no more the leader of Labour Party. If he had won the election, he would be the leader of Labour Party, but he lost the election. He's no more the leader of Labour Party. He's just a member of Labour Party. The people who wrote that is back to the National Assembly, they have all abandoned Labour Party. Was it because they wrote on the back of Mr. P2B? Were they going to the National Assembly to serve Mr. P2B, or they were going to the National Assembly to serve their people?
Okay. Thank you, Ike. I will come back to you because there are so many questions begging for.
Ike, you've given a good account of yourself.
So what am I trying to say?
Excellent.
If you cannot stand to, if you don't believe in anything, don't push people into it.
Okay.
Mr. P2B believed in one thing he believed, and that's what he believed. If you don't want to follow him, that's your choice. If you don't want to believe in him, that's your choice. But people like me believe in what he believed. And I am going to follow him to the process until he said that he's no more interested in Nigerian politics. By then, we shall have people like you. We shall have younger men who follow that process that we are going to support. So you cannot tell me the same system we are crying that we should destroy is the same system all of you are planning for Mr. P2B to do what other politicians in Nigeria are doing, so that he will be a very strong politician.
Okay, thank you, Ike. There are many questions begging for answers, but I will leave it for now. All I want, there's an Igbo adage that says "Aneku kwano mbabu aregog." Aneku mbabu aregog. That's an Igbo adage, but let's leave it at that. We'll come back to that because I want every person to have. That's what I'm telling him now. Aneku mbabu aregog. Okay. That is the thing I'm asking. That is where we are going. So, but let's leave it. We'll come back to that. Listen. We are going into holiday season, and we'll prepare a session. We'll discuss.
I'm in a public platform.
Okay, this you know well. Okay, Mr. CM, please go ahead.
I don't really know what.
Oh, sorry, CM, it's not you, it's Masker. I don't know what happened to him. Masker, are you ready?
Oh, I'm back.
You're supposed to be back now. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, KJ, and Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. I would like to take guidance because I think there are lots of topics on the table. I
Yeah,
I feel
you can take anyone that you feel comfortable with.
I can create my own also.
Yes, you can also create
Yes.
any.
At the center is between Kindirimu and yogurt.
No, he's drinking tea, not Kindrumo.
God bless you, KJ. You see, forget about the fact that sometimes I come after you, but you are a good man.
Thank you.
Forget this. We don't even know his name. You
We
can't
don't know
even,
his name with his rasta
can't
head.
even maintain a name. All right. So the topic I really would want to concoct, so to speak, it's to try and do a mishmash of all the. It's gonna be like talking about Peter Obi, talking about 2025 and potentially 2027.
Okay.
But the angle I would want to take is to say that I think the reality is that we don't like taking responsibility. On this platform right now, I think it's only Mr. Ike that have put his hand on his chest and confirmed that he did something during the 2023 election. It's not enough for us to sit and propose solutions or say, oh, this is how this man should do, or this is how the other person should do. The way things work is somebody takes the lead. It's either you agree with him and you support him. No man is perfect, and no man will be perfect. So I think what is incumbent upon us all as Black people, not even talk of Nigerians. I think the issue is with Black people. We hardly take responsibility. If you take the America, half of you are sitting in. It's people that build it. Is somebody would do railway, somebody would convince himself he wants to do motor. People will argue that the environment is conducive, but even some people took it upon themselves to say that the environment must have to be conducive. Come what may, that's their forte. That is what they will do for their society. Even as at today, you will see them. I may not like Charlie Clark and all his gang, but the truth is that people believe in something and they step up to the plate. In Nigeria or in the Black world, these people that are there, they're always, how do I put it? Once you step up the plate, you look behind you, half of the people that are supposed to be behind you are not there. I give a good example. Somebody like Showore, we would criticize him that he hasn't achieved that. But the simple fact is that he can only achieve when people step up. He would do the leadership, but people should be there behind him. If there is 200,000 people behind Showore, I can put it to you that people would listen to him. But back to the key point I would want to raise is that we should begin to take responsibility. Ask yourself, okay, what can I do practically in real terms? We may not all be leaders, we may not all contest, but we should go out there and support the people we really want. I, for one of the things that I've seen and I want to really dedicate my time to is what I call the institutional failure or institutional quality realm. I am very clear now at this point in life that one of the major issues in Nigeria and across the Black world is the fact that we tend to destroy institutions. So all the institutions in Nigeria collapse because Black man tends to pander around strong men, and strong men are antithetical to strong institutions. For me, I really want to start looking at that, but I am saying that all of us should take responsibility. The country cannot be good. One Peter Obi cannot make it. One Buhari cannot make it. One, what's this guy's name that has a university? The guy, vice presidential candidate for Peter Obi. What's his name? Chim, can you help me? Baba Ahmed.
Baba Ahmed.
So let's all take responsibility. It's all our country. And I'm happy today. Nobody is talking along tribal lines because that also is a major issue. I'm happy today we are not at that, what do you call it now? primordial level, at least the truth is that the thing that differentiates the human being from other living things is the fact that we have the capacity to separate ourselves and think of what we're even thinking or how we're even thinking. And I think it's very, very important also for me. It's okay, we can think the way we want to think, but it's important to try and elevate even your thinking to a higher level. Okay, I'm a Hausa man, I'm a Fulani man, but I need to elevate thinking beyond that level. And from the level of my thinking would be the kind of things I would say and probably the kind of actions I would take. Because in the end, most of our leaders, that's the problem also with them. They want to pander to base and avarice, circumstances without thinking, without stepping up or getting to a higher level of thinking that, okay, look, America is doing this, or France, the president of France is telling me this, is telling me that. If I don't do this, probably I will lose this position. But you have to think at a higher level. That, okay, after today, after next day, after 200 years, what happens? What the greater good? Thank you, KJ. I know you, because the topic.
Well, I have written, you just giving me a topic. How do we destroy institutional strong men? I think we make that a topic. And when we come with that topic, we all can now discuss only on that singular topic, canvas ideas how to be able to destroy strong men in the Nigerian, polity, because that is what has eventually destroyed the nation to the point where it is. We celebrate one man,
Yes.
north, south, east, and west, and the north, one man is not able to deliver.
And I give you a good. I go back to the same Peter Obi. Okay, when I tell people, okay, look, I may like Peter Obi. Okay. Or let me not take Peter Obi because a lot of people are emotional about that. But let's take, who would I take? Okay, fine, look, what the heck? I'll take Peter Obi. I'm a Nigerian, he's a Nigerian. Anybody who doesn't like my analysis should cut his passport into two. All right, so the point I'm making is I like what Peter Obi is doing. But the issue is, even if Peter Obi wins and he spends 2 terms, okay, what we really need to do is to put institutions around the ideologies so that even if the people go, there is continuity. There is a structure on the ground. There is clarity. Okay, after what are the philosophical underpinning of this movement, so to speak?
I agree with you. And that is, oh, sorry, it's frozen. And that's perhaps what people are saying indirectly here. Nobody is against Peter Obi. We are simply saying, as a leader, when you get to the position of leadership, you need to also raise like minds to be your first. In fact, I like the way the Muslim, and I say Muslim here, and I don't, not in any derogatory way, with due respect, the way they guard their leaders. They form 3 rounds of circles around them. The inner circle, the other circle, and the periphery circle. So that before you get to a leader in that order, you will have had to go through those 2 hurdles. And the last one is more difficult, the most difficult of all. Now, a leader who gets to a position and is alone by himself, there's a Hausa adage that if you want to know a leader, an important person, you know it by the people that follow him. Okay, so that's why you see most of the emirs, you see crowd following him, because that dignifies their own understanding of how important that individual is. If you come to the podium, or the rostrum, as the case may be, as just being yourself, every day you say it's just me alone. That's how you can't muster the courage, or not the courage now, but the level of push. Now I got the right word. The power of initial, the initial power that the plane applies to beat the law of gravity. It's not the same thing as what it maintains when it's up there. But before taking off, you must. If you don't do that, you'll be pulled down. But that's my own understanding. So if we are going to make anything forward, whether with the obedient movement or with any other person, if we decide to build any other person up, the person must know how to build something that can safeguard and be a propelling force to get the person to where he's going. It's like a moving train. Once the train start moving, you can't stop it. Okay? But if you think, no fly perches on a hot food. No fly. But again, I don't know how people are understanding it. For me, I don't. Peter Obi is a good guy. I mean, too good self to be in politics. Okay, and just like Ike said, if he could do governance with his money, then he doesn't need to look for political position. They can just go ahead and continue doing what he's doing all around the world, all around Nigeria, and people will love him. But there is a difference between having money to go to communities and make different.
You're confused with your thinking. I'm sorry.
Just allow me to think. It's my thinking. Sure, you say it's my own. It's not your own. Let me be confused. Now, Abiola had all the money in the world, but he realized at one point that his money couldn't make a difference, because what makes the difference is the policy that's on ground. That's why he ran for the office, not because he was looking for money. If you remember all the big contracts and all the big things he made in those days, we used to call him, the international ITT, international telecommunication something, was under him. He was the owner, the person who brought in cowbell, our milk, Abi.
International thief.
He was everywhere.
It's very correct.
But one day, Abiola was on the road. A common governor pushed him off the road. Okay? According to the story, he said, so this person can do this because he's common governor. He doesn't even have anything. So having money is one thing. Being able to have authority and the power of violence lies with the person who sits at the government house. And with one stroke of pen, he can make you a poor man in the next minute. That is why people who have money all around the world gather around the positions of office to try to influence them. That's the truth. Do we think that Dangote is doing what he's doing for nothing? No. He's also protecting his own investments. Whether I like it or not, that's the truth. Because today, Tinubu can wake up and say, this your, it wasn't taxed properly. We need so and so tax. And the company will go down. So, but Dan, that is like Oti said, it's a foolish, and I'm on the wrong side. It's my own thought, and I leave it at that. Oh, Pablo, are you here with us, or you are meditating with the I and I?
Me here, man. Me here.
CM has been here before, Pablo.
Oh, really? Oh, yes.
Pablo just came.
Oh, really? Oh, no, Pablo, why now? Why? I am move back. CM, go ahead.
Oh, yes, CM never speak.
No, he never speak.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe the last person.
He was here before me.
I thought the issue should have been the tax. Tinubu's tax.
Oh no, you can discuss the tax if that's what's in your mind. We're discussing different issues, and people have the right to ask a question, but the question will be when it is their turn, so that we can get to everybody. Oh, our forefather came before these other two guys.
Forefather was here too before me.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
Before CM was here.
I didn't say he came before CM. I said he came before the rest two guys.
He has really received too much beating yesterday, so we need to give him a soft landing today.
I
don't know what
I have issue with Tinubu's tax in January. Not that people do. Tax is the major source of government revenue. We were taught in ordinary level economics. We know. But my fear is, with what Nigeria is as a sovereign nation, why is a French company or French third party or whatever being involved in collecting our tax? In Lagos, when Tinubu was operating from Lagos, he used Alpha Beta, which is his own company, to fix Lagos. Only God knows why. Why must a French? Why this a romance between Tinubu and France? I'm not comfortable with that because it's shrouded in secrecy. We have Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria that certifies Nigerians in Nigeria as chartered accountants and the auditors. even the accountant general of the federation, you must belong to ICANN or something like that. So many banks, all their MD money. I mean, why France? So does it mean Tinubu cannot approach ICANN and tell them this is the tax, this is the way to do, this is what I want? Nominate at least 50 of your members that are chartered accountants. I call them a committee so that let them see to this, because it's all about Nigeria. Sovereignty is not just to sing national anthem. I'm not comfortable with it. In fact, there's fraud, unless somebody prove me wrong. There should be an element of fraud because Tinubu is involved. Look at Lagos State. I have to draw parallel with Alpha Beta. So why? My interest is, why can't Nigerians be in charge of Nigerian affairs? That is what I don't want. That is what I don't want to hear. To involve France. Of why are we a sovereign nation? Why? So to me, whether the aim of collecting the tax by January is very laudable or whatever, but to me, it's dead on arrival. Why France? Why? That is the reason. And this everything is not, is I think Peter B commented on it that whatever it is, open it up to Nigerians, which is impossible. Now,
CM,
at the National Assembly.
Question for you, CM. Do you think France is involved?
Please let me not lose my strand of thought.
Okay, go ahead.
Write it down first. Let me call. At the National Assembly, even the rogues that are representing us at the National Assembly, as much as we do not trust them, what is the purpose of a National Assembly we pass a bill the way it should be, only for before it is gazetted, the presidency or the executive will go and insert something that wasn't there, which means we are not aware, because whatever the National Assembly passes, they are doing it on our behalf. That is what it means. So the people we have spoken through the National Assembly, if the presidency knows that they will insert those things, why not insert it before giving it to them? But you waited for them to pass it, then you go behind and insert it. So this tax something that will break the camel's back. Nigeria is being fragile, but because France is involved, I'm reading a lot of fraud in the system. I do not trust it. And coming from Tinubu, and tax for that matter, given what happened in Lagos. So that is really giving me sleepless nights. But Nigerians will handle it better. So KJ, what are you not saying? Or what were you not saying?
If you are done, let's move on.
Okay, so I asked you a question. Are you sure that France is involved in this arrangement, or somebody just doing just calling it?
But from what we read, is it not a French firm that will be responsible for collecting tax? From what we read, unless you want me to not to believe what we read, if I'm wrong, let it be only me that is wrong. But what I want is the interest of the country. I mean, you can't bring a foreign.
I asked that
the
question
point is that Nigerians are capable of collecting tax. Nigerian
I don't know
they are capable.
KJ,
Sir.
I wish I have your link. I would have sent you a video that speaks directly to what CM is saying. It's actually not only Nigeria. There's a video I watched. Of course, it's not everything you watch that you believe, but as you people say that in the night, the witch cry, and then in the morning, the baby dies. So you can begin to, you'll be allowed to put 2 and 2. In my language, they say, Billy Yai Kamada Mutum. So, but the point I'm making, that video, he made a very logical point, and he's a white guy. Okay, number one, he is saying that it is another form of recolonization.
Yeah, I agree.
The Western world is now putting our government under severe pressure to increase taxes, and it's, at least he mentioned Tunisia, so maybe I will Google Tunisia. He made a good example of Tunisia, that in Tunisia is a foreign company that is collecting these taxes.
Yeah, but with the experience,
obviously, what I know about Nigeria is that almost 50% of our revenue will spend it. Okay, so maybe let me know. This is the way he explained it. Now the countries are made to collect debts. Once you collect these debts, you are now forced to increase taxes, and it's foreign companies that will be collecting these taxes. And obviously, these taxes are all repatriated out. So technically speaking, all of us now will be working for foreign governments.
Good. You see, I've watched that video and I agree with you because that's what my mind tell me. I mean, this is my own estimation. Because the French colonies or the French countries already paid their listed, and now they have lost that money coming to them. So whatever they are looking for from Nigeria now is to use Nigeria to replace those places. Because if you collect the taxes and you are going to store it in your country, to whose benefit? Okay, that one. Secondly, why should we, an Anglophone country, be allowing France that we don't speak French, who have nothing to do with the French, and then you didn't go to England to bring English people to come and help us collect tax. You went to the French, and they will now translate those things into French first before it's brought back into English. So let me tell you, this is my other theory that I'm thinking. Hold on.
Are we not capable of collecting our tax? That is my question. Are we not capable?
No, we have professors of accountants that are lecturing all over the world. Are they teaching rubbish? So the thing is this: you know that when you collect the data of Nigeria, you will know how much Masker has, you know how much Forefather has, you know how much him has, you know how much. So they can actually poach you. This is a poaching game. If you leave the country, or they can approach you and make you a sweet offer and give you a very sumptuous list you cannot refuse. You move your money and begin to invest in that country. This is totally another way of colonizing now those who have small resources.
Can you share this video, please, for those of us who haven't seen it?
I've sent it to Forefathers. Forefathers, check your WhatsApp so that
you can. Forefather
can share. Can you share on the WhatsApp group for at least for those of us who have access to it?
Is it long? Is it very long?
Let me see. How long is this thing?
I'm not asking to play it on the group here. I just want
because of okay. All right, you can send it to us. You can put it.
I'll send it to Mr. Rudolph.
Okay. Now that is what I'm thinking. My brothers and sisters, we're gonna wake up. The game don't begin. You know, get another. They say don't begin. Hot. Forefather, let's hear from you. CM, we can move on, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. All right, Forefather.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, KJ, and greetings to all the panelists, the chat, and the viewers. And with your 4 eyes, you cannot still see Chim. I'm surprised that you couldn't even see that I was here before. Some 40 people were defended. And Oga Ike, it's a shame to hear you talk the way you talk, saying that P2B. What was that again? That P2B didn't lose the vote. It's our vote that was stolen. P2B was entrusted with our votes. You cannot say, let's say the national team goes and plays a football match and they didn't defend the goalposts, they didn't tackle the opposition, then you blame the population. That's not how it works. If you are assigned with the trust of the people, you have to be accountable and defend their interests, even with your life. That's what it is. I don't understand why we excuse nonsense. Sometimes I feel like the way he talks, he actually wants Tinubu to win, because he actually makes it clear that he would rather a southerner remains in office than a northerner. So, what is your argument? If P2B not going to work with somebody, P2B is just sitting there pretending as if he's acting as an opposition, but not really doing anything. He didn't leverage the power that he had for no reason. I don't understand why. You are the dominant person in that party. You have 6 million vote plus, and he didn't use it for anything. He just only released press conference and make speeches here and there. That's it. And then the people that were elected under your candidacy go on to carry on doing the same thing the government is approved of doing. When do you start holding people accountable? When? If you cannot hold somebody accountable on this case. Personally, One of the realization I came to was that just 2 weeks ago, was that all the presidential candidates are compromised. Because all of them, they had a different position in terms of national security. When they came into office, they changed their tone. The presidency, they don't know. And none of you picked up on it anyway, but that's Nigerians, isn't it? That's not surprising. All of them did the same thing. I don't understand why we excuse people for behaving badly. And about strong men. Strong men, they are the ones that build strong institutions, by the way, just in case you didn't know that. You need a strong man to build strong institution, then he fades away. When he fades away, if that institution starts failing again, the space will create a strong man again. What you are seeing in Nigeria is the failure of institutions. Then it will create a strong man.
Absolute nonsense.
You you can shout all you want and dislike it all you want. The problem with our people is that they don't really study anything. Even when they read, they are blind. I have to tell you this. Our people are blind. It's as if their critical thinking is not there. And I'm not going to be engaging with this sort of stuff anymore. I'm just sick of it. Because you guys can't think straight. Even when you see the examples, 1 million of them around the world. And you still argue with me here anyway. Why? What do you gain from it? What do you gain from just arguing with me? You can go and check it. If I'm wrong, then come and tell me I'm wrong.
Let's have this argument. I mean, okay, there's no point listening to people talking nonsense and then
tell me.
Look, don't do that. Don't do that.
But Oti, you can't be talking.
Oti, we did listen to you too now. We all believe
listen to you. And
Oti, we listen to your wisdom. Let us listen to
his nonsense. Let's call a spade a spade.
What kind of thing is this? We listen to you talk.
We listen to your nonsense too, but we bear it all through.
No, we didn't listen to his nonsense. We listened to his wisdom. Let's listen to Popa's nonsense.
All right. So now my nonsense is
go ahead.
Jerry Rawlings of Ghana that laid the foundation for the institution they have today. No one has been as powerful as he was. Is that nonsense? Is it Mao Zedong that laid the foundation of what China is today? Is that one nonsense? Without your 4 eyes that cannot see. I don't know what is wrong with our people. We are blind. I don't know what you guys can engage. And I'm not what I'm going to be doing now.
Tinubu is a strong man, okay? Which institution?
Hold on. I'm describing.
Let him speak. Oti, you will get the opportunity to let him finish.
Which institution did he live in Lagos State as a strong man?
I don't want to remove you. Let him speak.
He said
ask him question later.
No. That creates strong men. Listen to him. You are making the wrong argument. You are not listening to him. He said, due to the failure of institution that lead to creation of strong men. I mean, it is
when institutions fail, strong men have to show up. And sooner or later, they will go on to recreate that institutions again that will take over. Then those institutions will go on to function. If they don't function, a strong man will show up again. Because that's what people demand. For something to change. They will break it. What do you see in America right now? I don't understand how you can't see these things. And I tell you, the UK will get one soon.
But for further,
they will get one soon. Because the institutions are failing and a strong man will show up. That is what happens everywhere. But nobody bothers to check anything. They just, when you tell them something, they just want to argue with you and say you're talking nonsense and describing what I said as nonsense. I don't know. Maybe if you cannot see, I can't help you see. I don't know why we behave like this. Because we want to score point or drag somebody down.
Can I respond to
if you want to drag me down with good knowledge. Don't drag me down with rubbish. Drag me down with something that makes sense. That way, I can know that I fell for something.
Oti, wait for the next round. Wait for your next round now. Wait for a second round. Oti, be patient.
So now the issue.
Listen to bullshit.
Then you can go back.
No, I didn't even address him. I don't know why he's still cross.
You don't have to address him. We have already done that.
I never addressed him, so I don't know why he's okay. I never addressed him.
I think we need to be mature. When Mr.
The person I addressed, is not even that cross. You are the one that is cross.
I allowed him to say what he wanted to say.
See, it's so obvious. The examples are there. I don't know why we act as if we can't see it. What is this? Is this a sickness? Did somebody charm us or something that we cannot actually read what has happened in history? Do we have a problem with reading history? This is something that why are you arguing with it? It's not even my position. It is what has already happened and happened repeatedly over and over. If you look at Lee Kuan Yew, do you see anybody as strong as Lee Kuan Yew after him? He laid that foundation. Why are you arguing with me? Are you arguing with reality too?
KJ, can someone at least intervene? I mean, you've allowed him to go on and on. Can I just ask him a few questions?
Okay, ask your question.
You are the one prolonging it.
I have question for Mr. Ike. Mr. Ike said stuff about me.
Hey, guys, listen.
Let me also give him examples.
Listen,
so that he can explain.
Listen, guys. You know, when I tell this program, I said we are going to be very civil because the topics can be very volatile, and that you don't have to jump in to begin to ask questions. Let's just maintain that so that we all can be able to make our contributions. Please. I don't want to have to remove anybody. That's not nice.
Write your question. When is your turn? You ask.
Yes, so now, Oti, Chim, do you have to have a question for him?
I don't have a question for Oti. I have a response for Mr. Ike Lamefule.
Okay, don't just be patient, Chim, please, so I can have some.
No, I will, but what I don't want is Oti cannot bulldoze his way through. That's not right.
Yes, and that I don't want him to
bulldoze his way through.
Wait, also, because Desta and Pablo have been here for long. So let them speak also. For further, can we move on?
Can I ask
let me carry on. If you don't want to ask, because everybody gave, I remember you were giving a lot of people time to circle questions.
You don't have to.
I just for 30 minutes. I can have him ask this question. I can have him ask this question. He's allowed to ask this question if he wants to ask a question.
Okay. So, Paparas, so you're telling us that strongmen build institutions, okay?
It's a question.
It's a question I'm asking. Okay. So now, I'm sure you count Tinubu as a strongman.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you happy with the institution he built in Lagos?
Never said that he's going to be a good. He's going to build institutions that you like.
No, sorry.
But they tend to build institutions. Yes, he did. I'm not happy what he did in Lagos, but he did
good institutions, and it's working very well for Lagosians, right?
See, you are not understanding.
Okay. Now, in America, we have a strong man, okay, and he's building good institutions in America, and the Americans are happy, jubilating, making America great as a strong man, right? And
yes,
he also built a strong institutions in Germany as a strong man.
No, Oti, I thought you were going to ask a question.
Okay,
if you're talking about, listen, I went out yesterday. I bought fuel.
Strong institutions.
Hold on.
How about it?
Let me tell you something. Okay. When you guys discuss America, outside of America, I think sometimes you make a lot of mistakes. Since the first time I bought gas at the price I bought it yesterday was sometimes in early 2020. It has come down to $2. Hold on, I'm just telling you. So let's not compare
strong men and the institutions.
Listen, I agree with you, but
don't men and the institutions. That's the point he was making to us.
Oh God! Okay? Let me tell you. See, what Fofather is saying is somehow correct. What you are saying is also somehow correct. Okay, if you have a place where rule of law is maintained, there will be no reason for a strong man. Now, if you have a strong man who does not have morality, it's only what he has you can bring to the table. You can't develop what the character you don't have. How do you bring it? So you continue to do things the way you know it. So let's not make it look as if it's written on stone. No, there are people who have, because of their very strict policy or principles, build their nation. They are exceptional people like that. The power didn't drive them to become killers of men. Mm-hmm. They were able to set parameters for which the country rode on. By the way, you gave example of J.J. Rawlings. He didn't remain in office. As soon as he put what he wanted, he left. He left.
How about Gaddafi? How about Saddam Hussein? How about Syria?
Listen, hold on. I don't want us to read these African leaders from the eyes of the West. I don't want us to do that.
Museveni of Uganda, Pobia, strong men and institutions.
Is a Pobia a strong man?
You cannot just hold us to ransom. I don't think it's right. Ask your question. Let other people
continue. Okay.
All right. Let's move on.
So, Fofana, you have an answer for that?
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, it's very obvious. I think his issue is that he seems to.
I beg forefathers can see him speak so that he wanted to say something to Oti.
Okay,
so that...
go ahead.
You are muted, CM.
Unmute CM.
I can't mute. I'll unmute you. So mute. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You are muted.
Can't hear you.
You think that only Nigerians will have problem with internet, but what can you say?
Okay. I think I should be okay now. Am I?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that a dictator does not necessarily mean a strong man. A dictator does not necessarily mean a strong man. That's what I'm saying. That is the meaning.
A strong man for us.
Lee Kuan Yew is a strong man, but he's not a dictator. He built institutions using the ambit of the rule of law.
He was a dictator at some point, though. But go ahead.
No. I don't think. Okay, let's leave that. So you can also cite somebody like Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, very strong man in the Arab world. He built Egyptian military and then the air force and everything. If not because he lost in the war, he couldn't have. So not every he's not a dictator, but he's a strong man. Mugabe is a dictator, but he never go. What did he build in Zimbabwe? This is what you have to check. Yoweri Museveni, these are dictators, but they are not strong men. So there's a difference. That you're a dictator does not necessarily mean you're a strong man. A strong man to me is somebody who has a strong devotion to grow the country using the rule of law.
I see. So you can do that. You can do that gently. Is that correct? You can actually, do that gently.
No.
Yes.
Good. No. Well, if you can do it gently, so far you carry the people along, and in the
methodically.
Well, if you say methodically, when you say rule of law, it's already methodical. But what you should know is this: these people we call that they build institutions. They build institutions because of their strong devotion, their patriotism. It's not because they are dictator that they want to loot the country dry. That's what I'm saying.
CM.
Yes.
Okay, I'll move on. You have asked a question. Let's move on. No. Okay, Chim, hold on, Oti. You have asked a question. Let's move. Chim, you have 1 minute before I come to Besta.
Okay, so I will first of all respond to Mr. Ike Alamefule. So, sir, Mr. Ike, we can agree to disagree. I believe we should come here to express our views. I expressed mine and you did. I don't think there's any angst. We don't need any need for seeing anybody's views as wrong. No, people do things per time. When I said what I said about Mr. P2B, I still stand by it. It's not going to change tomorrow. There were certain things he lost, opportunities he lost, but it doesn't change from the fact that he's a good man. He's a good man. You can be a good man and not be a good politician. Just the same way there are lots of good people who are not good parents. There are lots of good, I don't know, I can keep qualifying it for us. Now, I think I don't want to go over belabor that, but when it comes to this issue that is of contention to us right now, there are always outliers. I have read a lot about Lee Kuan. Lee Kuan started as a Democrat, then he became a dictator. Singapore became a one-country party, just the way Nigeria has. It became that. But when he set up institutions, dealt with these processes that were bedeviling Singapore, he opened up the process and opened up the system and took a backseat. That is because of him we have the word benevolent dictator. It is Lee Kuan that word was coined for. Benevolent dictator. So Fofadas has a point. I may not agree with everything Fofadas is saying, but he has a point. In certain situations, you need a strong man who is patriotic, who has good intentions, who sets up the process.
That is the point.
Lee Kuan is not.
What makes them strong is their devotion to the rule of law. It's not
patriotic. Patriotic is the word. Patriotic is the point.
Okay, I think we have taken enough time for this. Let's move on.
There is purpose of Cambodia who was not
Patriotism is the word. Patriotism
exactly. It was
is the
patriotism.
word.
Yes, you have to be patriotic.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Not will of men.
Desta has been here, and Okwabla have been here for over 1 hour. So let's give them an opportunity to speak. Desta, go ahead.
Yeah, I've not finished my submission. No.
No,
why you want to jump
just
in?
hold on. Just hold
They
on.
just spoke and they won't let me finish my own
We
submission.
have had enough time.
Don't forget, you gotta define a
You
strong man
were
for us.
requesting for question.
I was sitting here for how many hours before I was allowed to speak once?
But I gave you more than
5 hours. I was
why do you
sitting
do
here.
this, forefather? I gave you enough
requesting
this.
for question. Whose time?
I'm not even spoken about the French stuff, and I'm not even spoken about Southeasterners where Igbo were talking about. I just talked about one thing and everything.
Are we talking about Igbo? Don't bring Igbo now into this.
You talked about it now. I want to comment on it now.
It is not the number of topics, it's time allotted to you. You've exhausted that. If you have 10 topics, up to you.
What did they give any time? Because some people spoke for long.
People were speaking for 10 minutes. You did for
Dexter, please, can you give me 2 minutes? I'm logging off. Can you give me 2 minutes?
10 minutes.
Dexter, please give me 2 minutes. Let me log off.
If I spoke for 10 minutes, I don't think I spoke for 10
hold
minutes.
on, Operator Desta. Desta, you want him to speak? I thought Desta wants to speak.
2 minutes. I will log off.
10 minutes.
Right.
I don't think I spoke for 10
But I have the other strong man behind the stage. Go ahead.
I want to sleep. Yeah. My brother Ahmed fled. Most of us, let me talk for myself. I know how much I spent for P2OB. I don't want to come here and say it. If you spend for P2OB, keep it for yourself. You know, because most of us, or me myself, I know how much I spent for him. That's by the way. Anybody who encouraged P2OB then, after losing the election, to go out and start demonstration, calling his obedient supporters to come and go berserk or demonstrate in everywhere in Nigeria. That person hated or hates Obi. Nigeria, nobody. In fact, Nigeria is not worth dying for. If you die for Nigeria, you will die. In fact, it's in vain. General Buhari, when he lost 2011 election, you know how many people that died because of the 2011 election. People died because of what he said, and Buhari was not held responsible for making such comment that led almost 1,200 people died. Imagine if P2OB had made such comment. Imagine if P2OB had commanded his people, come to the street, demand for your mandate, fight for your mandate. Do you know what would have happened to P2OB? P2OB would have been languishing in the prison now. Anybody who tell you P2OB didn't, defend the Labour Party, what do you want him to do? Those people, they saw that loophole because most of them, they were like APC, PDP. Immediately they saw that P2OB came, he had that momentum, they rushed. And after the whole thing, they collapsed, went back to their parties. Are you expecting P2OB to go and beg them, come back, or force them to stay in the Labour Party? How? It's not going to happen because they were never Labour Party members. They were never Democrats. They're just political jobbers who wanted to go to Senate or House of Rep and then go back to their parties. So P2OB is a very clever man. If you are expecting him to fight, pull his supporters into the street to die for who? For who? For Nigeria? Any Igbo man who comes out and want to die for Nigeria, I'm sorry for that person. Good night from here.
Okay. Thank you so much. If you want to come and die and leave your beautiful wife. I've always said here that if I was P2OB, I'm not going to go near the crowd because when I look my wife, I go tell them, when I go now, I have enough money. If I want no problem, what can I carry? But on the serious note, I I think what we are simply saying is not for him to go to to the street by himself, because we know eventually. Look, I've said this many times here that I stopped being an active activist when what happened to me in Area 1 happened to me. When we are doing the Jonathan fuel listing, I have been an activist. We have been active, activist, student active, and all that for a long time, and we were doing it happily, thinking we are fighting for Nigeria until that happened, and that was the thing. You see, there's a policy or there's a theory that that Ahmed, what's his name now, the vice president, Ahmed, proposed. He said, if you people are 100, they will arrest you, they will beat you, they'll lock you up. If you are 1,000, they will arrest you, they will arrest some of you and beat you up and put tear gas. If you are 10,000, they will begin to look for the leaders. If you are 100,000, they will run out of town. If you continue to say we'll not go streets, that's the same way we're going to be. That's the same way we're going to be. So if you say you are not going to, there's no time power will be given to you on a platter of gold, especially if they are your oppressors. These people have been oppressing us. Look, I went to a federal government college. And at the time I went to the federal government college, we ate like we were eating in our house. And I'm not talking about years ago, 1988. 1988. We had full meal, one egg, boiled egg, a full loaf of bread. You bring your cup, if you want, you can bring your flask to drink tea with well-made tea, Bonvita or tea, whichever one you choose. We ate 3 square meal, 3. In the afternoon, they give you banana or orange after your meal, whichever one you prefer. In the evening, they do the same thing. I'm talking about federal government college.
So you have enjoyed Nigeria, KJ. You have enjoyed Nigeria.
Federal school. When school finishes and you don't have transport to go home, you go to the student affairs and say, I live in Makurdi and I don't have money to go. They will give you a form to fill. They will calculate the mileage and give you the money to go. The money you're not going to pay back. You go. I'm talking about Nigeria. They don't ask you, oh, your name is Chukwemeka, you are Igbo, we won't give you. No. It was across board. Those who came from Sokoto were given money to go back. Those who come from Kano were given money to go. Those who come from Lagos, because I have friends who came from Lagos. In fact, one of the guys, I just saw that his father has passed, General Randam. Okay? They go back. Nigeria, 1988. Haba. We're gonna help ourselves now. Not the same country. So what has become so bad that even we are now beginning to get to a point where we'll begin eating human being. And nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Can I answer that question? Can I answer that question?
No, don't jump in so that we can go line by line.
Who be this guy? Who be you?
Desta, please talk now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, KJ, and everybody that are still awake on the panel. I think one of the things that I kind of think it doesn't seem like we in Africa have got to the level of like when you go to places like UK, in America, they do it. When you go to Oxford College, then they will have debates, and then you are ready to listen to people's opinions so that I can come up with something that can work for everybody. It seems like we in Africa, we are still in a position of whereby we think that it must be the way we think, the way an individual think it's supposed to be. That's how we must run with it. And that's why you see people coming to say, oh, Peter Obi must not be like he has done this, he must do it like this for it to work. But, if it's not in our sphere of thinking, then it is wrong. And I think that is part of the reason why we are not even progressive in Africa. Because what is our sphere of thinking? That is the real question. What is our sphere? And if I ask all these people that are berating Peter Obi, if I ask individually in your sphere in your own locality, how have you dominated it? Can Peter Obi use you as a template before you start giving somebody advice, can they use you as a template? Can Peter come and monitor your life and say, okay, that thing you are telling him to do, let him see how you have done it within your own sphere and how it has worked for you, and for him to follow it? Or are we standing outside like the people who are watching the football match, watching, play like this, play like that? I always tell people, when you see a footballer miss, I'm sure Ovie, that is into sports, knows this. When you see a footballer miss a penalty kick, don't start berating. That footballer wants to score that penalty kick more than you that is in the stands or watching from your TV. He wants to score it. He doesn't want to sky it. So when you start berating him, why did you do like that? You are not there. You are not there. So how many of us that are berating Peter Obi that put his money on the line, put his life on the line? How many of us, if he decides now and say, okay, let me come and watch you in your life, how has that your thinking put you at the zenith in your sphere? Can he watch you and see it? That's where you are telling him, go and do it like this, go and do it like that, go and do it like that. It's not easy. Talk is cheap. And it's very easy to talk after the match has been played. After everything, it's very easy to come and say, do it like this, do it like this. It's very easy. It's too cheap. But I think what we should come to do is, we should be able to interrogate things and not interrogate it from a one-sided view, but interrogate it from an open view of sharing ideas of how things can be better. And I think what we should be thinking about here is interrogating things so that what happened last time won't happen again. You shouldn't be interrogating it to put blames on somebody, or you should have no. You should be interrogating things to say, this is what happened last time. How do we make sure it doesn't happen again? Peter Obi is one man. He's one man. And we want a Nigeria that works for all of us. And there must be collective efforts from everybody. And so one of the reasons for us debating is to come and debate so that we can see that what happened before doesn't happen again. And it's not the responsibility of Peter Obi to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's the responsibility for you and I, each and every one of us, to come up with ideas to say, why haven't we thought in this age of AI, there are how many polling units in Nigeria? Why haven't we started thinking, how can we cover those polling units? What can we do? What can the citizenry do? So that while INEC is saying there is this IREV that they are uploading, the government knows that there is another body that is capturing the data at the same time. Imagine that INEC is saying we are capturing data from the polling unit, and the government the government is aware that this is not INEC, but there's another body that is available. So, let's give it a typical example. Softwares, many companies used to have softwares and they used to give license to software. So if you're not licensed with that software, you don't have access to it. So if you go to places like Alaba, in Lagos, you go, the boys will crack the software for you. When they crack the software, you now have unlimited access. So guess what happened? Some people in America said, okay, instead of us to be putting licenses on our softwares, let's just make it open source. So it is open source. So what has happened is that they start capturing the data of the people using it. And that is another way. And everybody knows it's open source. Everybody. So you can be having, like you have Microsoft Word. You have other softwares that rival Microsoft. You have Excel that you have to pay for. You don't need to pay for Google Sheets. Do you understand? So it's open source, available. The same data is captured there. Why haven't we thought? Yes, government is regulating INEC. We the citizens, why can't we come up with a means whereby we capture all the data in all the polling units, and government knows we are capturing the data, and it is open to everybody? Because this idea of INEC doesn't have the monopoly of capturing results of election. How do we know that? We seem to think that INEC has the monopoly. No, INEC doesn't have that monopoly. If the citizens decide that, okay, we will capture data of every polling unit and we'll make it open source, you will see the government. The moment that starts happening, the government will even be watching the open source data more than the INEC one. So I think what we should be thinking about here is we should be coming up with ideas that are challenging us. And I think one of the problems with Africans is that we don't come up with challenging ideas. We want to live in our ancestry, this old, we're talking about the past, and we're trying to blame somebody, we're trying to blame this thing. No. Let us challenge ourselves, challenge our minds here. This is an open place. Challenge our minds to come up with ideas that will interrogate our system, that will push the government, to a very difficult position. I think that's one of the things. So when we go to school, when we go to universities and do, I feel very pained when I see my friends, they do PhD. And I'm wondering, tell your PhD, bring it, let us see. How can they say, no, don't worry. They can't commercialize it, they can't do anything, they say it's for the library. And that is common with Africans. But go to Japan, a college student, we come up with challenge the American F-117. I listen to a lot of military stuff. The American F-117 is one of the most stealthiest planes in the world. It doesn't get into a dogfight. It cannot handle anything. It is not subsonic. But guess what? That plane would enter your airspace and leave without you knowing. You will literally see a dot. That is all you see, a dot moving. The only time it has been shut down, they were tipped in Belgrade. They were tipped that plane was coming, so they were watching out for it. But guess what? The idea of that plane was set up by the Russians. The Russians said this thing can't work, and they beamed it. And the Americans got hold of that paperwork and interrogated it. They came up with the F-17. That is the stealthiest plane ever built. It enters your airspace and leaves. You don't see it. It's like a pigeon. You will just see a pigeon appear. Pam, 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 it disappears. But the point is interrogate. And I think that is one of the biggest problems in Africa. We think we are learning because, for example, we are going to school because I want to get a job. No, that's not why we go to school. We go to school so that we can interrogate processes, things that are anomalies in our society. When we see anomalies, it's going to come and say, now, between now and this next 6 months, it's enough for us on this panel to come and start interrogating. What can we do? So that in the next election, all the polling units will be able to capture the data of election. Simple. I think it's not the people that should be able to capture that data. We can make way for that. So I think we should move away a little bit from this. It's not progressive really, because it doesn't really add any value. We should start thinking of how can we add value to the process. Because one of the things the government in Nigeria does is that if they know we are not adding value, they give us anything they like. That's
why Dexter, what's not adding value, Dexter? Sorry, you didn't mention what's not adding value.
I'm not taking anybody. So the government of Nigeria knows one of the reasons, like our taxes. Now, government know that these people don't have option. Look at the government. Look at what the government did. You carried over 2024 budget, 2025 budget. Now you have collapsed everything because the people are not even interrogating anything. The people are not even holding them accountable. I think it's something we have to start thinking in that direction. There is a song I wanted to sing. James, have you heard the song? If you follow Tinubu, don't follow Kona. Have you heard that Fubara song? Maybe we need to find where it is and play it. I'm playing it here. All of us on this panel are supporting Tinubu. Stop following Kona. Stop following Kona. Come out. Come out with your full chest.
Okay.
As support Tinubu. Thank you.
Thank you. Pablo.
Just to raise this thing. This guy spoke for 10 straight minutes, and I spoke for around 7 minutes. But it's all right. Justice is never this is anywhere. So
than that, forefather.
I checked it. Very, and I was interjected in between. But it's all right.
Okay.
Forefathers, you're a case.
Somebody needs to call the hypocrisy amongst Nigerians.
No. If you don't go there, forefather, your own hypocrisy past this one. So let's not even go there. But let's leave it. It's not the reason why I'm here now. Go ahead.
List my hypocrisy. List them.
No. I don't want to use my time to do that. Let's move on. I think I gave you a fair chance. That's all.
My 2 hours starts now.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I think in the midst of the chaos, Mr. Chris put up according to OT, who kind of seconded Chris's practical solution, which is to say the solution or the future of Nigeria lies on what's the along civilizational fault line. Everybody should go his way and all that. Then towards two Nigerian forefather raised another argument that fit into the conversation. But he talked about the what Reno R.R. Reno called the return of the strong God, where nationalism, popularism, and the future of the West. That's what his work was about. The argument of that work centered around Nigerian situation. He argued that after the First World War and the Second World War, the open consensus, the open society consensus was centered around the opening borders, market, free mind, cultural, why they deliberately weakened that strong collective loyalty. That's why we go back to the Nigerian amalgamation of early 1900, which is just after or when we say during or after the First World War. So they break that collectiveness by merging us together between the North and the South dichotomy. Then after the Second World War, those who they say they agree that the British are still in charge of Nigeria, they are more powerful. After the Second World War, the same thing continues. Still, that's where the return of the strong God now comes in, based on truth, homeland, family, faith, and solidarity, and share a commitment to prevent fascism, totalitarianism, and nationalism. Again, during that period, which is, it's just after the Cold War, they break out that our strong collective loyalty of regionalism and try to merge us together. So ever since then, the institutions become weaker. So the argument Reno is making is what to Nigeria is actually saying that along that all these things, there will come a strong man that will put everything into perspective, which is in a way support Chris's, counter Chris's own argument, because even that he is providing a practical solution to according to him or according to OT to Nigerians' problem. He never said that there is no way out other than that, because he said that if the institution are actually right, well, he make the argument by saying that if Obi can lead the people, the masses to the people, is going to win, which again reinforced to Nigeria's argument with the return of a strong God, setting the institution right. Now you might argue that Tinubu might not be that right strong man, which he also said that if the current strong man will do it, somebody else will come and do it. So if you have that belief that there's a way out, then it counter your argument of saying that now along civilization line we want divide. So between that two line, OT where the shots kind of confused himself, even within the two. He failed to see the 2 points that he is supporting, actually speaking to one conversation from the same the same person. So we are at that. What about how we argue that in the Nigerian situation that we are today, we face with 5 civilizations, 2 in the only talk I say now 3 and 2, in the sense as a Chris argument again, the Igbos has to go their ways, the Yorubas has to go their way. So that civilizational fight is going on. Then the bigger picture, which is the Islamic civilization, and the Christian civilization, which is metamorphosing into capitalism, one will argue. So our own situation is competent in a way that especially the ruling elite, will argue strongly against in favor of living as a multicultural society. Because if you look at the broader picture too, those that live in London, right, having a Muslim mayor, that speaks to the broader picture that even that fight along civilization line may not actually be along that line. It might be those who are advocating for coexistence might eventually win the day. Mandani took New York. The same story. If you come to California, you see that bridge. So Nigeria are melting pot, I will always say. So, and the elites will argue that we don't live like that since 1960, right? Yes, it's up and down. We fight, but we are able to. You understand? You are not among the elites. That's why I said the really elites will argue that we've been living a multicultural nation for like 60 years. So Oti and Chris, again, there's an argument there. There's a debate there. I'm not saying you guys are totally off on, but you guys are making the same point from two angles. But because Oti is so centered around that civilization argument, that's why I say it's more practical. You fail to see where to Nigeria is coming. That if a strong man will come and put this institution together, Obi or anybody in Obi should actually start a chance. And I think the elites will settle for that. It will cost them less if they give the Igbo civilization presidency, however they want to do them, and that, sooner or later, right? I think they will go that route rather than losing everything. So there's way. I mean, they're also proposing devolution of power. To break that argument of civilization fourth line, they will increase the states, bring more people into the power. So now, we the ordinary people might not, able to stomach that. But what choice do we have if we can't even organize ourselves? We don't even have money to go to war with those that have the war chest. So the argument is very. We are in that debate today worldwide. Worldwide, that's the debate we are in. Are we going to be continue coexisting as a multicultural society, with states?
Ovie, what do you think about Tinubu? Ovie, what do you think about Tinubu's tax? That should be more beneficial. Forget about it.
You are about 6 months late. They don't pass tax law 6 months ago. You want debate and of what use? I mean, that to me it doesn't make sense. They don't pass the law. You don't get gone. They come your house.
No, but Ovie, what he's saying is simply this: in other client, when you alter official documents, you go to jail for it. Let me tell you, you are living in the US. You know how bad it is. You can't even take a government envelope and do your own personal listing. It's written there behind the envelope that if you do this, it's liable to this punishment. So why then do we think we can wave it away that somebody took a gazetted government official paper and altered it? Should we just let it move on?
That's what I see. When I said they don't already pass the law, you no get choice. I follow by saying you no get gone. You self now, because we won't just like to argue on the same place. You started your question by saying if na other client. So you yourself, you understand the reality of things. Somebody was arguing about idealism and realism. So
no, but we should not reinvent the wheel. That's what I mean by that question. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Again, I just tell you, you live in they even decline where things they work in America. If IAS contact you, say you are behind in your pay, you no make move, where you go show up? Men with gun.
No, that's no.
Pablo, wait. No. Pablo, no. Before we get there,
you are not addressing. You are dodging the question. You are not addressing the question. He's talking of forgery. That the Congress passed a law. See, the president. Listen. The president brought a bill before the Congress. They debated it elaborately and then passed it. Then you, the government, go and then sat what they didn't decide inside it. That's what he's saying.
You know why I answer him, but you don't want me to spend I should spend much time the way you want and the way you want. Now because you believe say me, I don't get any other thing to work on. That's why I spend time on that. I said I have concluded about this tax issue 6 months ago. Now hold on. Let me tell you. Let me refresh our memory here, right?
Before that there will be session.
Done.
that
Hold
there
on
will
now.
be.
Because I answered the question, say you no get gone. That means they will take it by fire by force. You know what, or you know one taker. So allow me explain. I get your part. I knew your question that they actually go against the constitution. I heard you. But
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, your time is complete, sir. It's 10 minutes now. You are talking. So you
Because
have
you
1
don't want
minute
me
to
to
round
answer
up.
your question. I wanted to answer the question.
Okay, round up now. Just go straight to answer the question.
This is a man that suspended an elected governor of a state. That is the beginning of constitution of the highest order. He succeeded. So when you want me to waste time, they talk about things that don't pass. Where me and you cannot do anything about. What is the
Okay,
point?
I understand you now. So what Ovie is saying, so I can move forward, is that these
I am not saying
individuals.
nobody break the law.
Hold on, no, I understand you. Let's go on. These individuals have before now been contradicting the positions of the constitution. Nothing happened, so this is why it's not going to change. All right, let's move on. Jide.
It's another classic case of strong man versus institutions.
Exactly. Yes, so this is a thing.
Right.
Just see,
Great.
I am working towards 3.5 million vote for my Oga. So I am busy.
We know now. We know. No use this platform. When I never pay us, when you campaign for no use. Tell her make him come pay us. Don't campaign here, Pablo.
On a more serious note, before that tax was introduced, there is a man that visited Nigeria and Sebula, our elected official, called Jimmy Diamond, right? The head of Chase Bank in the United States. He instructed our elected officials, that means he instructed the whole nation, that yes, the coming tax revolution is going to bring pain, but they don't care. The institution has to expand. Our elected official life.
Hold on.
When they introduced that tax, he was rejected from the neck, from day one. But for some reason, you people were busy. Say we want protest, bad government. That was like, what is going on with these people? That was when that conversation was hot. When I leave now, we will go back to 6 months when election campaign don't start. Good luck.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. I agree with what you said, and why the West keep coming to gather our elected officials and address them is what I don't. That's the one that I don't even want to think about, because we can never do that in their country. Have you ever seen anybody? Have you ever seen anybody come to America and go and gather 3 governors or 4 governors and say
France not the least of our problem. France not the least of our problem.
No, France is not the least of our problem. It's part of the problem, my brother. Okay, let's go ahead. Jide.
Yeah, thank you, KJ. Good to see everyone. So honestly, I'm extremely disappointed with a lot of other people's perspective. It seems like we don't want to learn. We don't want to learn from what's coming.
Nobody has disappointed you, so don't be disappointed.
Even you yourself, you've actually disappointed me. But that's why
we didn't appoint you now. So
well, your opinion is going to make Nigeria to get worse. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say.
Okay, so why are you disappointed?
So yeah, like despite everything that is coming to us, and it is clearly being shown in the open, we are still inviting it. I can't believe that a lot of us, we still believe that people like Peter Obi will be the one to come and overhaul this system or come and change the fate of Nigeria. I'm very disappointed. This same man that is not the righteous man in Nigeria, this same man, 3 weeks ago, when they asked him about his view about U.S. intervention, he said U.S. is highly welcome. They should come and bomb our people. He said it. I watched him. I've followed his interviews
not
again.
Bomb our people, to bomb terrorists, not our people. Please don't tell lies. Peter didn't say come and bomb our people.
No, I didn't say
he's
that.
He's coming for terrorists, not our people.
I'm letting you speak now. He didn't interrupt.
This is propaganda. Peter Obi didn't say our people.
Don't worry now. You talk later. Let him talk now.
Let me talk, please. You see, people like this, they don't mean any good for our country. There are many of them. It's not only him. You see, this mentality of Messiah, that the rich man will come and fix Nigeria. We need to get off our score. We need to get off our fucking medulla oblongata.
Who is their candidate? Tell us.
You know, is it MK Abiola? Is it Peter Obi?
Who is their candidate? Who's going to fix it? so that we don't waste time.
You are looking for me to give you a candidate. We are not ready. I mean, seriously, we are not ready at all. You're expecting me to give you suggest a candidate for you, to fight for you. We are not ready at all.
Jide, is our angels going to be the one to come down? Is God sending us angels?
No, the solution is for the people to organize. And within the organization, they need to build an ideology in motion. And there will be a strong man. Talk about strong man. There will be a strong man that will represent that ideology.
Can you explain what
That's
you mean by
how
ideology?
revolutions work. Because Nigeria needs a revolution.
Can you explain what you mean by an ideology?
Thank you very much. An ideology. I'm talking about the political ideology. I'm talking about the political ideology. Nigeria needs one right now that will liberate our people. Because you guys don't know what's coming. Nigerians are about to be enslaved.
No, Oti, allow him to make his
point. It's going to be Islamic ideology like in Iran. It can be a communist ideology, it can be a Pan-African ideology, it can be a Marxist ideology, it can be a socialist ideology. It can be many ideologies, Pan-African, right? It can be different type of, it can be an anti-imperialist ideology. There are many ideologies out there that the Nigerian people can embrace, okay? They are out there. I don't need to give them, there are many examples. But the point I'm even making is, I'm really ashamed that despite the fact that these guys have proven they do not serve our interests and they are no good to us, we still believe they are the ones that will come and liberate us. We honestly, we need to grow up. Let me tell you guys what's going to happen from January. Because what's coming is like, I don't know, a lot of us are abroad, so we're not listening to what's going on. Nigerians are about to be enslaved, though. We are about to be enslaved. See, plus 2, 3, 4 people are about to be enslaved. That's not a joke. You see, we're talking about liberal democracy. I've said it time and time again. This liberal democracy is never going to fix Nigeria. It's never. See, we'll keep talking about this for the next 20, 50 years. This liberal democracy, this let's go and vote. Because even if we have the right candidates, you know what will happen? The states, they will respond with violence. Because people that are ruling us, they are violent. They are very violent. And they are organized with violence.
Okay. Jide, hold on. I'll give you more time. I want to ask you a question. You see,
yes.
Maska had made me, I wrote it down, and I want to read it out for you. He said, how do we eliminate institutional strong men? Okay, so I've written it down because I want us to make it a topic alone we'll discuss. How do we eliminate this bottleneck? Would be the institutional strong men or be the system that have fallen through in Africa, in Nigeria in particular? These are questions that are begging for answers. So we'll find a day when we don't have to be everywhere. That is all we're going to be dealing with. And then you people who know the way and the how these things can be done, will come and give us that lecture. Then we will now accept it if it's true. Then if it's not true, we say, Oga, this lecture you are giving us, these are the punch holes here, these are the punch holes there. But don't come to a public space and say, we have been teaching you, what are you teaching us? Because all of us at different levels when we get these things. All of us, they are different these things. Okay?
I'll teach again.
What I'm saying is that I believe that we are here with different fields. You know, some of us are, different fields. All right? I did masters in media communication in 2002. Okay? So it's not as if we didn't go to school. These people are teaching us every time we're not understanding. So let us
KJ, I think there is something that to what he's saying, because this idea that we started.
I have not said that.
Let me just.
Everybody get different style.
It's just 30 seconds. Because what I found is that if people discuss honestly and openly about stuff and engage with it, without going into this defensive attitude, greater ideas emerge. And this idea, we stunt conversation all the time with this nonsense that we do. We laugh at people when they're trying to tell you that we are not communicating with them. There's something seriously wrong with people that do that. Seriously, because you don't really understand how people share knowledge. That's why you have an issue with that.
Are you sure you're not the one
issue with that?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have any issue with what Jide is saying. It's like saying, if Jide says something to me, like some things I disagree with him, I will tell him, he will tell me why I'm wrong. That is how it's supposed to work.
So,
not this way where you get my opinion and I hold
where you make mistake now when you bring Obi in. Anytime you want to bring Obi in, it should be from angle of support.
I'll give an example. You see,
no, but hold on before you go on.
Listen.
That is different from what you're saying. What did we say?
So
I said we are putting out a date where these things will be discussed under this under this title. How
I'm
to
ready anytime. I'm KG. I'm ready
so
anytime.
what is the thing that we have said that forefathers now is berating us that we don't seem to?
No, I didn't berate you. I wasn't berating you actually. To be fair, you were being fair. It was the other people that were laughing
No, but
when
all of
you were
them,
saying it.
they're also on the same page with me now.
Sorry, KJ.
They are not on the same page with you. They are just saying that you are saying that you should do the time. No. You are laughing at him for saying that you are not engaging in the conversation. Everybody just want to know their own position. And you two, to be fair, you two KJ was saying everybody has their own qualification. Everybody has their own. What is that? What is that? Engage with the conversation. It's not about your qualification.
You see, what's the ban laughing? There's a strong man.
Allow me to speak now.
No, because it's a form of negative bullying. It's a form of negative bullying that stops conversation.
I think it's
We
been
don't move forward with anything because everybody's trying to hold on to their own silos. What kind of attitude is that?
Sir, CM,
Your question is what I'm saying. I've not even finished. I have where I'm going with this.
Okay, hold on. Let Jide finish. Please hold on. Let Jide finish.
I haven't finished what I'm saying.
Jide finish.
Look at Bolivia. Look at what happened in Bolivia last week. Talking about democracy, liberal democracy. Look at what happened in Bolivia. Bolivia is a leftist country. They are an anti-imperialist country. They've been using voting to select their leaders, right? Look at what happened. You know, allegedly, the West, they sponsor their candidates, right? They infiltrated the country. They sponsor their candidates. A neoliberal stooge like Tinubu is now in power. Guess what happened? That one is implementing neoliberal policies. The free housing, free healthcare they are having is now changing it now. Guess what they did? The Nigerians, 2 3 4 people are not doing. Dumb ass people. Look at what they did. The labor union, the labor union of that country, they declared nationwide strike. Nobody should go to work. And they're not negotiating unless the policies are reversed. They're not negotiating. They're not negotiating. No. The policy has to be reversed. If not, the economy will be completely shut down. Shut down. Look at if I want to be enslaved. Right? So you want to be enslaved in that country. It's a shame. My last point before I stop. You see, honestly, it's quite unfortunate that we still do not understand that Nigeria as a country right now, it's now a pawn that a lot of imperial powers want to use to what? To exploit our resources, make our life miserable. Oh shit. Okay. Make our life miserable, and guess what? And genocide our people.
Kill our terrorists.
And how would they do that? They will use those so-called terrorists. They will use them as a proxy to destroy and kill our people. You see, really? my final point. Is that what they're doing right now? Is that what they're doing right now? UAE and the US. Is that what they're doing right now? My final point, before I stop for now. If Nigeria is like North Korea, do you know North Korea? If Nigeria is like North Korea, I'll go back to Nigeria and live in Nigeria. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, just a quick take. When people come here, there's no need spreading propaganda. Peter Obi never say come and bomb our people.
Listen.
Peter Obi, listen. You see, when you come and listen now. If you don't want to listen to me, I can still give you. I can allow you to continue for the 1 million years. You are not making sense. So listen. Peter Obi like Obasanjo. Obasanjo said, we belong to the international community. If we can't be able to do it, why can't we call for help? The help that is coming is not to come and listen. It's not to come and bomb our people. Peter Obi never said something. So when you come deliberately to come and allow me to reply to you now, when you come deliberately just to come and spread propaganda, very crude one, it doesn't pay any because people listen to you. All this rant you are moving from one continent to the other, it makes no sense. Even in international politics, you can't defeat me. If you want to discuss global history, you can't defeat me. Let two of us be. I can tell KJ, convey it to Rudolph. Jide one day just.
It's not about having knowledge. It's about critical analysis of that knowledge.
There is. See, listen. Part of the critical. See, listen. Part of all these things. When you come and spread propaganda, Peter Obi never said we come and bomb our people. Peter Obi never said so.
I never
America
said so.
offered to
I
help.
never said so.
America
You are not
offered
saying
to help.
I
Obasanjo,
never
as
said
former
so.
leader,
PM,
agreed
the third was
that
I said
America can
upside
come and
down.
help because we cannot be able to do it.
You
But
are
when
the
you come here
FAs.
late
I
in the
never
hour,
said
maybe
so.
midnight Nigerian time, you come here and say Peter Obi said this, Peter Obi said that. You are not making any sense.
Something about
You are,
PWB said that you should
you are
come
not
and
making.
No, listen.
You are not making sense. Obasanjo welcomed it. Obasanjo campaigned for it. Obasanjo said yes. So why are you coming here to come and blame Peter Obi? That Peter Obi said you come and bomb our people. It's genocide. Why are you saying this type of thing? Only okay, Nigeria has been sold. According to you, Nigeria will now be sold as a Nigeria will now be colonized by who? By Tinubu.
You don't want to stop?
I have to say,
Stop
no,
now.
no.
Stop.
KJ, let me
Stop.
respond.
Stop.
I never
Please.
said
Guys,
Peter
Jide,
Obi was going to bomb.
stop. Jide, stop.
He
Stop.
said US can come. Then I said
And bomb
Stop,
our people.
stop,
And
stop,
bomb our
stop.
people.
Yes.
Say that.
I said that. Why didn't Peter Obi say that?
Oh,
I said
now,
that.
Jide, you see, this is my challenge now. You have finished speaking now. Let other people also speak now.
That's how it came across, though, to be fair to them.
Okay,
It
so
came across as if you said P2B said America can come
Hey,
and bomb.
replay what Jide said, please.
okay, guys. Okay, guys.
Say,
If you
Jide
allow
was
me-
trying to utilize the time.
If you allow me moderate, I'll be able to take care of it. You see, what Jide have said was re-echoed by the presidential sportsman, which is Bayo Nanuga, who said they will never forgive Peter Obi for saying that foreign power should come and help. But he forgot that one of the best presidents Nigeria have had so far, Olusegun Obasanjo, said that if you cannot help yourself, you should invite your neighbors to come and help you. It's as simple as that. You see, and where I stand on this issue is this. We are creating the problem that is bringing these people to our country. Let's not go and start chasing the problem from the back. If we have good governance, if we have not even good governance, if we have even regard for our own people, somebody will not come and tell you how to treat your people. But now we're having people from outside telling us this is what's going on in your country, and we're coming in to do this and do that and do this. Because you have refused to, even with that, have we made any change? I still have videos flooding my phone every day, still on the same issue. So when we begin to blame other outsiders, that is not them. Now they create the forum for that. We don't dey here now. On a day here now, they carry our tax data go give France. Tomorrow when the issue come out, now go say na France cause the wahala. See, these are the things that we're creating for ourselves. We cannot now say this don't exist. Let's be factual about it. These are things we're creating for ourselves. Okay, having said that, I think we have exhausted our time. I'm going to ask one more question, which I will start from forefather until I get to the end of the line. Okay, sorry, I'll start from Masca because Masca is in Nigeria. Getting late. Now,
thank you.
The question I want to ask you guys, and I need you guys to answer in 3 minutes. How can we repair Nigeria? What are the indices that government can put on ground to make Nigeria livable for every part of the Nigeria? Whether you are the smallest tribe, which is the Basankomo, I don't even know if they are the smallest, or Ogori Pio, whether they are your Ogori Pio or your Ogori, or you are what's that tribe I used to like? I like in Kogi State, Igbira. Whether you're Igbira, okay, whichever one you are, how do we make it your place where you are inhabiting be best for people, and you can contribute to national development? That's the question I want all of us to bring answer to as we round up. Yeah, and I'll start with you, Masca.
AJ, for you to know Igbira, finally, officially, I don't trust you again. It's over.
Why? I know Igbira very well.
I don't trust you again. It's okay.
You think you're the only one that have lived in the north?
I don't know.
I have lived everywhere, just like you.
So sorry, KJ. Sorry, my brother Masca. I'm leaving.
Okay, go ahead, Go ahead.
Enjoy your weekend and have a blessed.
No, I thought you want
for everybody.
15 minutes now.
No, I'm leaving the office. It's hectic for me. I want to go home, right? So I just want to wish everybody the best of the week. But the only thing I want to drop here is my brother Jide. I don't know how you come here to replay what the spokesman of the government is saying. You are too big. You are too intelligent to say certain things. I don't expect certain things you say.
But you can't allow the man to talk.
I have respect for you, but sometimes this when you come here to try to twist a propaganda machinery statement, I don't like that. You know, we are not kids. We all of us are following the events in our country, Nigeria. We know what is going on in Nigeria. So we should be factual. It is your conscience. It's not what somebody said. But what you as a human being who blood runs in your vein, what do you think about that thing? Not because Obabala said it. What are you as a person? Do you really feel that is what Mr. Peter Obi said? Is it truly that's what that man said? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
Didn't say anything.
God bless you and good night, everybody.
All right,
just
good night.
Pure lies, just pure propaganda.
Okay,
just
no, let's leave it like that. Master has the ground. Leave it. When you get
so repeat the question again, KJ, but don't use Sibira and all that. Just
yes. What will every tribe? What will be good? What is the way we can move forward? Assuming we all agree now, we need to repair Nigeria, but people are feeling dissatisfied. Different ethnic groups are feeling dissatisfied. What will we put? What are the indices we can lay down that will satisfy everybody? And are we willing?
That's the most simplest question I think I have been ever dealt with in recent times. Okay, all we have to do is to show every tribe that every other tribe is also suffering. The problem with Nigeria is not a tribal issue. Ibira people are suffering.
You are going away. I'm not asking what they are suffering. I'm saying that what then is going to be done so that people can have a sense of ownership. Remember, if you don't have a sense of ownership, there's no way it can be patriotic. So what is that thing that can be put in place where the rule of law will not be able to see who is there? No, just a sense of ownership.
Okay. This question you're asking, I understand what you're saying, but the construction of the question is not very proper. So let me rephrase according to my understanding.
Okay.
If you agree, then we move from there. What you're asking me now, it's the how Nigeria can become a good place. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, what can be fitting, everybody will be happy.
There is a major, KJ, there is a major difference, which is why sometimes I disregard what Jide said. There's a major difference between what and how. We know that the what is very easy. We all know what needs to be done. There should be rule of law. How do we bring about the rule of law? So I'm trying to, which one of the two? Is it the how or the what?
I'm saying how. How does that be implemented?
Very good. So for me, the how is the me and yous. I'm just going to repeat myself. The me and you. What I mean by the me and you, according to in every tribe, there is people like me and you, people who have gone to school, people who at least, if I don't work for the next 3 days, I know that there will be food in my house. So I'm not really like eating hand to mouth like that. Okay. And I do understand at a deeper level, what are the issues? So all of us that are at that level, number one, we are literate enough to have been able to understand what is going around us. We are also a little bit comfortable, okay? And we understand generally everything, including geopolitics and the major issue for me, which is the fact that in every system, in every arrangement, let's take it as a pyramid. In every pyramid setting, those that are at the top of that pyramid, they are the ones that are enjoying it. You cannot be looking up to them to change that system that they are the ones enjoying. Because we are talking about the how. So I'm saying that we are the middle level. We are to some extent suffering the system, but not as hard as the people at the very bottom. So those of us at this level, and this is the reason why all of us have time to come and sit and talk. Let's all agree to go and educate our people. The education should be at 3 levels also. To educate them, you want to ask a question, Jide?
Professor, drop your hand before we cut
I want to respond something. Anthony is paying me. I'm not going to take up to 30 seconds.
No,
listen.
I'm
No, I'm not going to I would have finished right now.
Someone
lied against me that I said Peter
Okay, can
Obi.
you mute this boy?
Someone lied against me.
I don't have
That
that
I said
patience
Peter
for
Obi should go and
this
bomb
now.
Nigerians. Was that what I said? He said the US is welcomed to intervene
Jide,
in
who gave
Nigeria.
you the authority to
Outside.
talk? You are so see this
People are
guy.
lying against.
Play what he said before.
All right.
You can
No,
replay
okay,
his voice for him. Let him hear himself. I'm not the only person here. Replay his voice.
That's what he said. Jide said it. What is that?
Why are you lying? Why you're a bloody liar? Simple.
But no, CM. No, but in fairness to Jide, no, wait, CM. Wait. In fairness to Jide also, I am sure he made a mistake, because if he says that's not what he said, we should take it also as people. If I say something wrongly and I say no, that's not what I said.
But
in
you
a
never
way,
give me the room to explain myself. You never give me the room.
Wait for your time. Wait for your time.
Now, look at this guy. We don't have all the time. Sorry. Yeah. So what I'm saying, KJ, the way forward is all of us that are at the middle level of our societies. We should take responsibility. First, like Jide would say, to organize ourselves. What I mean by organize ourselves, not on a public platform like this, but we should collect ourselves, that we believe that the problem of the country is not along tribal lines, but is at the pyramid. Those at the top of the pyramid are the ones who will forever not going to do anything that would upset their enjoyment. So let's organize, let's educate our people. The education is at 3 levels. Okay. The first level is that we should show our people the possibility. What is the possible things that their life can be, our lives can be. It's very clear. Nigeria is a wonderful place. There are so many resources. Let's let our people and at our level understand that that possibility is there. Of course, there is still going to be differences among us, but once we can work together, that possibility is there. The second level is to make people understand that as we are going to be pushing against these people, they will push back, but we need to remain resolute. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. There will have to be sacrifices. Okay. And for me, the third level is that it's not going to happen tomorrow. If you ask me, if you want to solve the problem of this country, you can't be looking at the solution in 2027, not even 2031. You have to make a long-term plan and take it step by step. And I like what Ovie always say. For instance, the truth is that the 2027 election, a lot of these people who will be contesting, in their mind, they know that they are not going to win that election. But that is a stepping stone for them. From there, they know that, okay, if I do this and do that in 2027, by 2031, this is where I will be. Okay, in every political party, they will tell you have to come and labor for the party. You can't enter party today and say tomorrow you want to start contesting. So that the people who will liberate Nigeria also have to come with that mentality also, to know that, okay, for instance, I always say it, and I think it was Dexter who was re-echoing what I keep saying. Let's even say the starting point for us to liberate the country is at least, let's start saying that at every polling unit, there is one independent Nigerian who will at least be broadcasting live from his station. And Nigerians should be able to pull that together. It's not that complicated. So the idea is not, we are not supporting any candidate, but we're at least providing the basic infrastructure for honesty and transparency around a single day. Some people are doing the broadcast, but there are some people who, in their own responsibility, is also to monitor that the right things are also being. So I'm just saying that, you know, you give yourself a long-term plan. You also have a clear vision that you can sell to the people what Nigeria, a good Nigeria, can be. Okay? And in the middle, to understand also that the road will not be smooth. As you push, somebody is going to be pushing you back. And therefore, that's why I always say that if the plan to salvage Nigeria is going to work, it has to be a secret plan. You can't come out and say tomorrow we are going to come and demonstrate or do a revolution, and you think that tomorrow when you come, people are not ready for you. It's not going to work like that. I rest my case. You are muted, KJ.
Thank you so much. So when we push, let's also know that the system will push back, and so we need to be formidable for us to be able to take on and the system that is pushing us all to extinct. All right, thank you so much, Master. And I will come to you, Jide. Please, don't calm down and just talk. Okay? Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, KG. So this is the thing. I hate when I make a point and I'm explaining my point, and one will come here and take my words out of context. It pains me a lot. I said Peter Obi said the US is welcomed to intervene in Nigeria. Then I implied that the US should come and bomb our people. I said it, but I didn't say that was what Peter Obi said. But because he didn't like my point of view,
no,
they
don't
used that against me.
No.
That's very wicked. That's wicked now. People are not saying I said that. People are insulting me.
Jide, calm down.
Okay, Jide, my advice to you, Jide, what you are now saying is that if we had you like that, that's not what you mean, Abi?
Yes, I didn't say that.
Okay, now.
And they took it out of context and lied against
Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
You have explained. We have heard it. You didn't know what you mean. This is what you mean. Okay, let us move on, bros. Okay, so make your own point so we can move on.
Okay, I'll make my point. No problem. Okay, so yeah, Apple said that.
Okay, sorry. Gentlemen, please, good night. I have to leave.
Okay,
good
night.
Bye.
Good night. Yeah, this tax thing that they're about to implement from January, honestly, man, it's quite unfortunate. And like I said earlier, Nigeria is about to be enslaved, not just by the criminals that are running Nigeria, but by France too. You know, Nigerians plus 2, 3, 4 people are now about to be enslaved. After about a few weeks ago, they were arguing if it is Christians or Muslims that were killed. Now, from January, we're now about to be enslaved in our own country. We were enslaved 200 years ago in our land through colonialism. Now, we want to be enslaved through another means. Now, we are wearing suit and tie, you know, living a modern life, and we are enslaved in our own country. Thanks to our unconsciousness, and thanks to, you know, those that would disagree with you when you're also analyzing issues and telling them that this is where your problem is, and you say you're blaming other people for your problem. You see, Nigerians, hopefully this will be a wake-up call when they see that, when they see the reality, and the reality strikes them from January, and they realize that yes, the people that are actually in power, that they are voting for, they are actually enslaving them. By the time maybe when they see that, you know, they would probably realize what's up with them. That's number one. Number two, where are our labor unions? Where are our civil rights activists? Where are they? Where are all these people? What have they been doing? A sane society, a sane country where the civil rights societies, the labor unions, they are heavily functional and they are not hijacked by the state, by the bourgeoisie, and by NGOs. They are functioning as they should. I bet you that tax policy would never be implemented. I'm saying it again, where the labor unions that is functional, the functional ones, our functional institutions that are resistant institutions like the labor unions, like the civil rights activists, all these people, the Jade and Co. If they are functional and they are not neoliberal assets used by NGOs and all their bourgeoisie politicians, right? All these people, if they are truly doing what they are supposed to do, I don't think this will be implemented by January. But because all our oppositions, the real opposition I'm not talking about Peter Obi, the real labor union opposition, I'm talking about the activists, the leftists, the resistance fighters, they failed. They've completely failed our people. That's why we are where we are today. That's why we are. In fact, these people, they've been heavily compromised. They've been heavily compromised. And we call Nigeria a democracy. We call Nigeria a democracy. Even under democracy, this is what happens. Because you know what happens under liberal democracy? This is exactly what happens. All the institutions, it's happening in the US too, it's happening in the UK, but in a slower rates compared to Nigeria. All those institutions, they are eventually hijacked by the people that have the most money. They are usually hijacked by the people that have the most money. People talk about Russia. We talk about Russia. Russia, Putin is a dictator. Russia is not a democracy, but guess what? Guess what's in Russia? Their opposition in Russia. Go and look at it. They are leftists. They are communists. They are activists. They are actually more functional in Russia They even before Putin even implements any policy, they can push back in a more efficient manner than in Nigeria. And in fact, you guys think democracy is just about voting. It's about voting one rich man to come and fix a problem every 4 years. That's not democracy. That's not democracy. Honestly, trust me. Bolivia is seeing what's going on right now. Bolivia used to have candidates that were anti-imperialists. You know what happened because of this democracy, liberal democracy? The West, they put in their candidates. They sponsor their candidates through those NGO channels. Now it's not really Bolivia. The neoliberal policies that have been in Nigeria since the 1980s, they're about to implement it. But guess what? Their labor unions are functional. They say that nobody should go to work. The economy should be shut down. You were talking about when you were in school, the food you were eating, and Nigeria was better. You know why? At that time, the structural adjustment program that was implemented by Babangida was not yet fully implemented. We are not yet seeing the manifestation of it. We started seeing the manifestation of the structural adjustment program from the 90s. Then it became more manifesting after democracy came to Nigeria. That was when it became more manifesting through excessive privatization. Look at Nigeria today. Look at the poverty. Look at the poverty from 1980s in Nigeria up to now. It is increasing. It's not increasing under democracy. It's not increasing. What the evidence is right there for everyone to see. But instead, we don't want to see it. We just want to come and attack people and take their words out of context. I'll stop there. Thank you. KJ.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yes, Okpabolo.
He said, "I will go to build another institution that will be Igbo friendly."
That not only Igbo friendly, every other tribe friendly.
Because we are being marginalized. By the likes
it's not only the Igbos that have an issue now. Other people have. Nile Delta is almost, a wasteland.
Of unsuccessful pope like Oti, they are against that institution. They're against we are marginalized by the Oti. Anyway, talking about building our Nigeria and the institution, total turnaround, Abi KJ, to summarize your question.
Yeah.
Anytime when I go say, okay, let's do it the old school way, village by village, and we'll come together one way or the other. My brother comrade go say, that lie, I'm selfish and all that. That's a taboo. When forefather come out with a strong man will come out one day and do it. The likes of what he go say, how dare you? I mean, maybe not because he mentioned Tinubu. So let me try and use a practical example that I don't think neither of them can deny. Obama coalition, what brought Obama to power, hope and change, right? Started with what? Organization, Obama for America, Organization for America, under America, Organization for Action. What have you? All those things, most of them are think tanks and strategy organizations that people like them, the billionaires like them, Mark Zuckerberg, eventually put money to make sure they draft policy that will actually enrich the institution or create new institution, empower new institution, evaluate all the other institutions, however you want to say them. Those are the things that were put together when that movement took off. The recent one in our memory and the most successful one, if you ask me, in my lifetime, was the MAGA movement, Make America Great. You might not like their spokesperson, Donald Trump. You might not like their policy, however, but it is undeniable fact that it is a very successful organization. And I would say that they took off in 2007, by launching a Breitbart radio by Andrew Breitbart, and eventually the man died. Started from the likes of Steve Bannon, spear to what we have today. Then they gave birth to American First Policy Institution, Center for Renewing America, Heritage Foundation, the Conservative Partnership, American Movement Again, Turning Point, and all that. All this started, they built on from 2007. Doing for America started with Charlie Kirk in 2012. So all those things as a base, both community organizing, the intellectuals were doing their thing by putting policy together, and today you can see that everything work according to their plan. That's why when people they say, "Oh, Trump." Nah, it's not about Trump. All the policy that are made that when they pass into law, he has no idea what those policy when they write all those policy. That is it the one that author them. But again, it's an organization like that are working underground at every aspect of the whole things that they wanted to change, that actually bring the sources together. But during the election periods, they have what they call the Presidency strategy, which is in our own local formation. It's called the word strategy. They make sure they deploy people along work toward they knock for door every now and then to remind them the need for you to come out. That when they say people like Elon Musk spend 250 billion, those are what those money is about. So everything, they happen overnight. I think that's where Tunanja the clash with the OT when Tunanja was advocating for a strong man, and but he continued by saying that strong man will bring the change there. Another man will. But again, if we no one go that route, the community based. But the point I'm trying to make is that for you to have a workable institution or however you want to do them, it involves works. It involves sacrifice across people that you agree and disagree with. The Silicon Valley boy gangs, the Elon Musk, and the MAGA. Up to today, don't see eye to eye. But they have one goal. Their interest, their survival depends on each other. The MAGA movement must succeed. The Silicon Valley must stay ahead of China. So, and that's where we need to get to. Dr. Dameji brought one guest to us one time, a writer from Nigeria, a publisher, we should say from Nigeria, who said the one major problem with the Nigerian elite or the Nigerian society is lacking that we don't have elite who have a common socio-cultural goal, a social goal that every elite actually say, okay, this is what we're going for, right? And I don't see that. So, but I think if the institution happen to speak volume, because everybody seems to agree with that, no institution is working. It doesn't matter what sector is at work. So maybe that will bring that consensus that will bring the men and say, okay, something has to be done. But the core point is that there is no two way about it. There's no hybrid with this here. Nigeria, we see have to go and do the dirty work. I agree with Obi's movement. It's a candidacy based on the community grassroots organizing, but make we ask ourselves today, as of today, what grassroots or what think tank, whatever, what do they have going on for them from 2023, 2024? This is the end of 2025. I don't see any, but anytime when I approach the big boys there, the Kenetokongwa, they say, don't worry, I'll be there, will come out from nowhere, eat you, boy. Unfortunately, he was eating boy. He left. Yusuf, the same person. So all of them seems to get the idea, seems to know that this is what is actually going to take. But doing the work, in 999, that's where KJ won't fight our professor Jide. Yeah, you teach too much. How can we go to the field, right? So the obedience can pride themselves as a community-based organization, but in the real sense of action, we are not seeing it. So
okay,
yeah.
Thank you so much, Ovie. And one guy has a question for you here. He said, Ovie, you are forcing yourself to be an intellectual, but you have a shameful, but it's not shameful to put an illiterate photo or as your profile. I don't understand.
Well, now he they see me as an intellectual.
Behind him is the governor of the state controlling millions.
Now they see me as an intellectual. I claim to be.
Okay, so
I cannot have Pablo as my political godfather. Then I claim to be an intellectual. No,
yes, because Edo has plenty professors, but that guy you call literate beat all of them, and is now sitting on the wealth of Edo. And
my wife result no different from Pablo. No. When I
Okay.
want contest for
No,
election,
no, they give that way on that side. No problem. We'll forgive you.
when I want run for presidency, we now go see him. So
All right.
I
Okay.
don't
Thank you
mean
so
to put a
much.
lecture, but I get the
Thank you
point.
so much. No. You are good. You are good. You've given us
I'm looking up to Jide, Professor Jide.
that. We agree with
He's
you.
my mentor.
I dey learn from Adewole too now. I feel
All right.
My mentor.
Yeah.
Well, please, KJ, part of the credibility of this platform, when you go back, replay what Jide said when he's opening this thing, what he said about P2B. That's okay. Just replay it, and then maybe you bring it and then send out so that people will listen. Because when some people say something, instead of them claiming that, oh yeah, this is what I said, and they're not saying somebody is a non-entity. When non-entity, I'm not a non-entity. I'm a human being. I'm not.
I didn't insult you now.
And I'm not.
I didn't insult you.
What is
Listen.
the meaning of this now? Allow me to say my own. I'm not a
Okay.
non-entity. For your information, I'm not a pushover by any means. But that's by the way. So it is in the interest of Dr. Damages or the owners of the platform. Replay that tape, and then if it's wrong, then the next time you come and say, Lily, I'm wrong, or you play. If you can play it now, it should have been better. That is by the way. So I'm from a home. I'm not from a house. That's one thing. Then the next thing is regarding the question you ask. You see, I don't discuss Nigeria as an abstract. Nigerians are people. Nigeria is a collection of nations that were forced together to be a country. So if you want to get to the root of what Nigeria requires, you call a referendum. 60 years. There are some people that are tired of becoming Nigeria. Like they did in Ethiopia. In their constitution, I can't remember actually, if I Google now, we'll be able to get it out. There is what they call a referendum in Ethiopian constitution. Any area that do not want can call for referendum and they get out. So this Nigeria, there's nothing somebody can call. All these ones is just pandering. You are looking for a human being. You are looking for a good leader. Somebody who is good. Peter Obi in 2023, what didn't he say that people identified with him? Where are we today? Where are we today? Okay, look at the way Tinubu is ruling Nigeria. Even the people that voted Tinubu are even afraid of his romance with France. Nobody knows what is going on. Look at the level of insecurity in Nigeria. Look at the level of insecurity. What has Tinubu done about it? Nothing. Of course, he told Najat Mohammed that he's not going to do anything. They will kill him. It's on tape. So when you look at this type of thing, there are people that want this type of civilization. There are those that do not want it. Nigeria, as an organic creature by Lord Lugard, has outlived its usefulness. Even those that put it together, to use their phrase, PUT, together, that put it together are regretting it. Because in one of the memo, they said they did not have the example of Yugoslavia. Meaning that when they were putting it together, they thought that the way they see Yugoslavia as a country of different nations, Nigeria will be like that. Now Yugoslavia has gone into pieces. 7 countries. The same thing with USSR, Russia. So when people are asking the way forward, the thing is that we tend to arrogate to ourselves the power to know it all. Why not conduct a referendum? Those that still want to be part of Nigeria can then sit down and then draft a constitution. If in the end, the whole country said they want to be part of Nigeria under war terms, as Bola asked in those days, do we really want to be Nigeria? Yes, under war terms. That terms means the constitution. Until we keep, beating and dancing around it, it's not gonna work. We all know that Nigeria, the way we are, the unity is not there, but we all make noise to unite Nigeria to do all these things. People will come with scaremongering. Oh, if you do this, it's all lies. Nigeria is the only country joined together by Britain that is still like that, the way they joined us together. If not that Bakassi left. The way it is after 1961, plebiscite that removed the Western Cameroon, Nigeria is still like that. Apart from apart from Bakassi, that Obasanjo gave away. So what if Nigeria really want to really discuss their nationhood, their identity, who they are? All they need to do is, there's nothing to be afraid of. We are different people. We manifest it every day. We share things based on differences. We admit students to different institutions of learning based on our different nationalities. Is that not what we do? Am I lying here? So when you are doing all these things, why play the juvenile ostracism that you pretend that we are one country? We should be doing. It can't work now. Aristotle said an unexamined life is not worth living. Have Nigeria examined their journey to nationhood? Up till now, nothing is working. The people will tell you this. If Nigeria should be a country, why is it that all the other countries joined together by Britain are separate? Today we cite Singapore, we cite Malaysia. Why did they go apart? India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, why did they go apart? Why? Why did they go apart? Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya, they were a federation. The Rhodesia you hear is Zambia and Zimbabwe. Later it became Northern and Southern Rhodesia. Then Zambia and Zimbabwe. So I can give, there are a lot of examples. So why is it that Nigerians are afraid to confront their question, the question of nationhood? Probably it may make them better, but at the same time, you can't put everybody, like Bruce Fein said, in a pressure cooker and you expect something to work. It can't work. We are too different. Look at this. Look at insecurity, the way it is panning out. The National Security Advisor appointed by Tinubu is the person buying arms and giving to bandits or terrorists. Am I lying? Is that not what it is? And you're expecting such a country to hold? It cannot hold. The only thing is that we are delaying. We are wasting time. Those who still want Nigeria to be the way it is, get to your feet and say so and organize. Those who do not want to be, you can't force somebody. Unity cannot be forced. You can only appeal. And the instrument to do all this type of thing is the article of faith, which is the constitution. If you cannot be able to say this is how we should relate to each other, you are wasting time. Thank you. If you can't be able to say it, you are wasting time. 20 years down the line, we will still come back and answer this question. People know the answer. What can Nigeria do? There's nothing.
Thank you, CM. I appreciate your contribution. Mr. Oti.
Yes, and I don't waste time because I think those of us,
I know you don't waste time, really.
Those of us love talking, we just talk.
Yeah, but we all can be like you.
No, of course.
All right.
So now listen, I agree with CM, right? Has a point. The only thing I would add to it is this. Because the question is, how do we get to that? Okay. We have to elect a president, okay, that is patriotic, and that somebody that will come in and takes it as the point of his assignment is actually to decentralize or restructure Nigeria, okay, along the lines of we can use the what they call it, the zones. I think we have 6 of them now, and of course the zones, within each unit, each zone, they can of course have a discussion to have proper representation of every ethnic group or nationality in that zone, okay, to have a comprehensive, well, if I call it conference, national conference or referendum, and then to decide the way forward, okay. So the structure we have is not sustainable. It can't work. But of course, to do that, you have to have a government. We have to elect a president that we make a commitment, and a president that is patriotic and trustworthy, someone that is not hungry for power, that is not desperate to rule, okay, and that also can do this job within a first term, 4 years. That's the way to go. So we elect a president that would affect this restructuring, decentralization. So that is a referendum, in other words, but you have to have a discussion, and then before you go to the vote, which you call a referendum, people have to sit down, everyone involved, and then to discuss, deliberate on how to either live together or, whichever form that future life within or without outside Nigeria, whichever form it takes. Nigerians have to have that discussion. Okay, there's nothing to fear about having a discussion.
Okay.
So, but you have to elect a government first that is committed to it. A president that is not desperate for power, that is not, grabbing power for the sake of it, for self-aggrandizement, so that is the only way. If we can elect someone committed to this, that's the only way. That's my view of the future.
Thank you so much. Okay, Chim has gone to sleep. So, forefather.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I don't know why it was only one thing you saw wrong with the submission of, that was made, that Britain, Nigeria is the only country the British put together that still remains. I don't know where that came from, but there are a whole list of them out there that are together, that the British put together. Like, there are so many. I don't know where that statement came from. So, but regarding the strongman, this thing kind of idea is, I didn't say what the nature of the strongman would be, but when institution starts failing, strongmen is what people tend to prefer, to lay down the law. Remember, that strongman needs to enforce. One of the reasons why institutions work is because somebody has to be sacrificed. And strong men are the only one that can sacrifice those people. Because if, let's say, something goes wrong in a system, let's say the way Dangote was able to, this thing kind of point out this Farouk guy, you have to have power to do that. You have to be strong to be able to hold powerful people accountable. Hence, why it's almost essential that you have to have strong men at the beginning. Then once that strong man set example with some of powerful people, you know how a bully, somebody comes to a classroom, he goes after the first bully and bully that one so that everybody will follow. That's how it works. It's just a common sense thing. It's not, I'm not saying whether the bully, the strong man, whether it's a good man or bad man. That is besides the point. It's the nature, that is the way nature works. At least human society behaves. Maybe even the animal kingdom is the way they react. That's why these things are quite fundamental. It's not only that you should be arguing about. Sometimes just because you don't like me, you just want to argue for the sake of it. I don't understand that. And one other thing I noticed is that P2B did make a comment. If they want me to share the video, I can share the video. Where I don't know whether the doctor did, but it appears to be him, and he appears to look like him, saying that he welcomed that the Americans, that he's going to be fine when they come, that's to work with them. That he shouldn't be complaining about little things, just welcome them first. And that was the term in the video that he was using. So, but that is different from saying that he's welcoming Americans to come and bomb Nigerian citizens. So we have to try to be more accurate about these things. That said, we're talking about the Southeasterners, how Nigeria is not designed for the Southeasterners. If I look at Nigeria, and just now, I just went and looked at the life expectancy in Nigeria. Southeasterners have one of the highest life expectancies in Nigeria.
Is it because of Nigeria?
Of course. Now, you see, that's the weirdest thing, isn't it?
No, but I mean, it could be
but Nigeria didn't prevent it.
Or because of Nigeria.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, please.
Nigeria didn't prevent it. That's the point. Nigeria didn't prevent it. Others, it affected others worse.
But it could be in spite of Nigeria.
I don't know why you people do this. I don't know why you just argue for the sake of it. If it's a fact, there's a reason why. If you measure it with the other people, now I'm not saying just the Southeast alone. Comparatively, why is it that the so-called ones that we claim to have advantage over the other people don't have that much of a higher this in the life expectancy? And you cannot tell me today that the Southeast is a shadow of themselves. Like I said that before. Somebody should come and tell me the Southeast today is a shadow of themselves that they were in before the colonization happened. They have expanded all over Africa, all over Nigeria, maybe even all over the world now. Since after the colonization, they've expanded all over Nigeria. Their life expectancy is quite high, and their wealth, in terms of development, is quite good. If you remove Lagos, Southeast is probably one of the most advanced areas in Nigeria. We pretend as if we can't see it, like, oh, it's part of Nigeria. It's not big. No, like this, Nigeria didn't prevent it all. Even with all the unrest you have in that area, yet look at the development you still see in that area. I don't know why we pretend as if we can't see stuff that's right before our eyes. It doesn't mean politically you are not being marginalized.
So we should be grateful to Nigeria. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that
what
I'm saying is that you shouldn't be acting as if that the Southeasterners are the worst hit people. Sometimes that's the way it comes across when you talk. Maybe that's not what you mean. You're just trying to express the frustration of your own area.
Hold on. Could I just a minute? But at least from what I said and what even CM said, I mean, we're not, none of us has kind of singled out Southeast or said anything, particular about the Southeast. We just
yes, they did. It was said about the Southeast, like they were being marginalized. They have to alter the system, otherwise everybody goes there.
Beyond this time now. No more questions now. Just let him talk.
Okay.
So the point I'm making is that we have to truly, and I think people don't celebrate this enough. They really don't. And I really wish there's somebody, it's older Kenneth Okonkwo that came on this panel and said something. And I was quite surprised to hear him say, when he advocated, he said his reason for wanting to be part of Nigeria. I really wish people go and do that. You'll be surprised. I was even convinced more because the case he made was so strong. And I don't know why many people Southeasterners that come here don't see that aspect. They always see the negative. They don't see the positive they've actually enjoyed within the Nigerian context. I can tell you that the South is not gaining anything. The Edo Kingdom hasn't gained much actually. They can tell you right now that they are worse off today than they were before the British arrived compared to other Nigerians. Don't make that mistake. I'm not saying Nigeria were better off than when the British came. But compared to other Nigerians, the South is advanced compared to other Nigerians. So this thing that we do, we have to keep that in context. This is only a political issue. If you say they are going to prevent P2B from being president, I don't think so. They can't prevent P2B from being president. The only thing, personally, if you ask me, for P2B to win, it's just that he needs to totally dominate the space, just like Obama did. You have to, sometimes, when you have never been elected into office before from a region, sometimes you need to be special to be able to break that glass ceiling. Then maybe some other person will come in this thing later, because this is the way politics works. And I really don't think that we should be looking at it as that, like as if people are just specifically targeting the Southeast. Look at how much people embrace P2B. I don't believe people are specifically, especially most of the young Nigerians now. Nigerians are very young now. They don't care about all this stuff we're talking about. When they see somebody that is good, they will vote for him. P2B, from within how many days of campaigning, he almost won the election. He almost did. I don't know why we can't see it. We just want to say everybody hates us. Everybody hates us. You want to be happy with that. How is that true? It's not even true. You see, if it was true, it will help you. That is why it's not good to be groping in darkness. You have to follow truth. Truth is light. If you see one truth, embrace it. If you see another truth, embrace it. Then maybe your conclusion will still be right. But maybe your conclusion will be wrong and you correct course. That's how it is. It's not. We shouldn't be running away from truth. Because when you get the truth, you'll be surprised the solution you come up with. I'm telling you, our enemies will not like it. They will not like us sharing the truth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Forefather, thank you.
Please ask him, please, Forefather, give us the names of countries joined together by Britain that is still existing. Just you can mention, you said there are many. Just give us like
Ghana.
5.
Oh my God. Let me start listening.
What is Ghana?
Okay. Ghana, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Botswana,
Kenya was not. All these things are lies. None of them were amalgamated.
Okay, let's go to this in Asia. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Which people were amalgamated to give Ghana? Which people were amalgamated to give Ghana? Let me start with Ghana.
The point has been made. No, let's move on. So,
which people were amalgamated? Oh God! You see your problem. You see. Listen. Listen. Just listen. Forget that. See, listen. You forget. You left. Forget about it. You are a professor of everything. Listen. They
I'm
asked
not.
a question here.
I'm
You left
not.
it. You were
Not even
dealing.
close.
You were dealing. You see, the thing is that you were dealing with
He's
Southeast,
speaking his
and then
final
by dealing
piece.
with. No, listen. I'm coming. Hold on. Just hold on. Hold
Right.
on, please. You asked us a question on the way forward of Nigeria. Everybody we are giving their own. When you get to your turn, what you are talking about is descend on Southeast. See, all that
Not
you are
the same.
trying to
I'm
do,
trying to
all,
write something like
all
that.
that you are trying to do, Southeast are this or that. The question you have to ask yourself is, life expectancy is not has gotten nothing. It's epidemiology. You can't come and teach me epidemiology here. Life expectancy has nothing. It has not. It has got everything to do with one, availability of health facility. Two, it is genetic. Three, that is genetic by way of science. Three, is genetic. Is proven. There are people that are longevity in their gene. Listen, just hold on, just hold on. And when I say availability of health facility, if the Southeast are having higher, what is it called, life expectancy, it's not because it's not a function of like Oti was telling you. It's not a function of Nigeria state, because they only provided Southeast with health facilities so that they can be healthy and then have higher life expectancy. No, you are just master of confusion. Just bring something to talk. It is not. See, listen. No. Because you brought it as a function of that Southeast has get. No, listen. Because I know this. He's so. See, listen. I know him. Life expectancy is partly the function of the individual. The way you live your life. If you decide, listen, there's nothing Nigeria has to do. There's nothing that Nigeria has to do about it. It has not. You see, listen, it has nothing to do with Nigeria. You're only trying to look for any.
Okay, PSCM. Thank you. You know, we're past the argument. We're past that time.
See, because I wanted us to address this.
Give us 5 minutes to rest.
Why should I give people 5 minutes? Oh, you have been talking here since. Me, I want
no. You see, because so when people claim that they have critical thinking, yet basic epidemiology of life expectancy, you are bringing Nigeria into it. It has nothing to do with the wider society. Life expectancy is all about.
What I'm saying is that Nigeria is not harming it.
It's not that. See, when you sing, and even then, your data. When you say your data that Southeast has the highest life expectancy, therefore they are benefiting from Nigeria. Therefore, all these things you are ranting. It's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. If I look after myself, it's entirely my own. I don't know what you see. Because I know you are surprised. I know you are surprised. I'm trying to deconstruct all these lies you are saying. In epidemiology, life expectancy, I've told you, if you want to learn, you learn now. You can't come and you can't teach me epidemiology and biostatistics. You cannot. Never. You can't. You can't teach me. So if the
TM, stop. Stop also, forefather. You see, what you guys are doing is not what I don't like it. You know that the time for argument has stopped. We have made this point. I gave people some time. So let's leave it. Okay, you have made your point, forefather, and the CM, you have made your point also. Let us leave it there. Anybody who wants to further on the read on that can go and do that on their own. Okay, we have extended the list, and I said if you want to discuss epidemiology or whatever it's called, so far you can set up that listing. We will all come and listen to you people. But for today, let us shut it down. All right, we have done enough. Thank you. My last person to speak.
He has no depth. He's too shallow. He's just trying to bring the Southeast down.
No. I don't like people talking about personal stuff. Please,
can I make my final?
No, you have made a final point already. You said
I didn't know.
You made a final point. So I'm only talking to. I will shut down. No. I'm not taking anymore, guys. No. Okay,
comrade, go ahead. Say something very important. But,
no, it's not important. It can be left. We're not going to change Nigeria this night. Well, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, Dr. KJ. Good evening, everybody. Dr. CM, good to see you, man. It's been a while.
Yeah,
today
it has been tough.
You came to eat a burger in America. You rush back to your base. Good to see you. You see, this is the reason. Sometimes this is the reason why, whether you for one Nigeria, you are not for one Nigeria, what we are displaying here is one of the reasons why we cannot even put our eyes together. We seem to think that those people we are waiting for to come and do the needful, as if they are working for our interests. You know, just the way we think the West and their African stooges are working for our own good. They want us to be better. This is the confusion we have sometimes. I was on a platform. Somebody was the argument was that we need to reconcile. We need to apologize to certain quarters, certain regions of Nigeria and all that. That wasn't the bomb. I didn't have a problem with that. My problem with the issue I was trying to raise with the person, with the owner of the platform, was that these same people, you're waiting for to come and do the reconciliation so that we can see ourselves as brothers and sisters that we are. They don't care about your unity. They profiteer from your division. They profiteer from your quarrel. They profiteer each time you sit down like this to argue among yourself. They are happy because that is what they want. Divide and rule. Divide and conquer. So this is the point we are making. So if you're waiting for them to come and decide, call a national conference, to say, come and deliberate on whether we want to stay together or want to go, you destroy their industry. That is their biggest industry. As they pay you, they sweet them. As they sweet them, they pay us. What you say, the way they complain, say Nigeria not the work. Now so that they see them. If they sit there in that their coven, if you look at all of them, we are all represented. From the east, from the south, from the west, we are all represented in that coven called the Kaaba. You know, it comprises of all Nigerians. So they don't sit there to discuss, to see it as if as a problem. I give you a vivid example. Bola Tinubu, for example, when he was much, much younger, when his brain was still functioning like a human being, when he was given the impression that he was an Adeko, a freedom fighter, he said that one Nigeria wasn't possible. Today, go to December Tinubu. You think he's going to tell you one Nigeria is not going to work? It's not feasible. So this is the point we are making. This is the mistake we are making as a people. We're waiting for these same people that cause our problem to come and sit down and tell us, oh, Satis, you've actually tried. We have marginalized you long enough. It's time for us to take a referendum. Decide whether you want to stay or you want to go. They don't decide. They don't think that way. This is the more reason why we have to come together, because you cannot give what you don't have. And Mr. Oti was making a very valid point that we first of all have to look for somebody that will have this vision and will have the political will to match this vision. That is the only way we begin to think of whether we want to stay, like these Buccaneers, they don't care about whether you die or you roast in Nigeria. They don't care. They are enjoying it. They are enjoying this industry, this selfish industry, Nigeria PSC. The earlier we get this point, the better for us. I think I have spoken enough on that in that regard. The more we start to make noise like this, we will make noise and get tired. They will continue to exploit us, indefinitely. Just the same mindset our politicians have against us, we the people, is the same mindset the West we are waiting for to come and liberate us have against us. Just look at what Donald Trump did recently. The certain minorities in South Africa, like I said yesterday, they said there was not even genocide there. Those ones were not complaining of genocide. But he opened the doors. In fact, he even created a heaven for them in America. Come, our doors are open for you. Come, we are ready. They are not willing to leave South Africa. They are okay where they are. They don't want to fulfill their farm and their land over there. Donald Trump was calling them to come and have a place in America. Then you accuse Nigeria of Christian genocide. You're already locking the doors against those that are being killed so that they can die in their head, in their shithole. I don't know why we are not getting this message. The same mindset our Nigerian politicians, our African politicians have. So we the people, instead of trying to say this is what we want to do, we are busy talking money to evening every day. We are not doing anything. But I don't know if obviously they actually came because of him. You tell us to organize every day. Organize. Let's organize. What you have behind you is one illiterate, one Ibesai from one village called Ubokare, Irwa, from Edo State, Esan Central. Is what you have behind you. That is what you are clamoring for. That is what you are organizing for in 2028. You're telling us there is no vacancy in Asoro. You tell us APC will win again. I don't know the kind of books you read. is that it's not imparting you. If I read any book, like I said yesterday, I have the belief that that book is going to impart me. If I pick up Romeo and Juliet, I want to be romantic. If I pick up Martin Luther King, I want to be revolutionary. The book you read does not reflect your action. I don't know where you belong. The reason why I came aboard because you mentioned my name. On this note, I rested. The more we come together to say enough is enough. There is a saying in my local parlance. You have to drive away the hawk before you blame the fowl. Let us first of all gain our country back before we think of whether we want to stay together or leave. Only a decent and reasonable human being can decide to listen to you. Not buccaneers like Tinubu and his cohort. Thank you. On this note, I rest my case. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much for resting your case. Even on this note, also, we rest you also. Thank you.
KJ, can I ask Mr. Mori,
no, we have passed that now. We are closing down. He has said good night. So let's just
let my friend ask me a question.
No,
I've been missing Jim. I like Jim.
I want to know, why think Buccaneers do you?
Jim, are you Buccaneer?
Oh, okay. Okay. Not from that angle. Not from that angle. Not from that angle. It could be same in a different context. In a different context, I apologize.
All right, NDBC, your turn. Yes, quickly, sir. NDBC, yes, it's your turn.
Speak briefly, even as I'm driving.
No, are you driving? If you are driving, we can't take
yes, okay, let me hold on, please. You can give me some time. When I stop, I will call. In the next 5 minutes, I will speak, please.
Okay.
You can hold on till then. All right.
If you don't speak, we'll wait for you next week, okay? Thank you. All right.
5 minutes time. 5 minutes time, please.
No, we don't even have 5. You have only 5 minutes. After that, we'll close the program. All right, go ahead. Sir.
So, I don't have anything to contribute. I went out, I came back now, and I noticed that my name is all over the chat. What did I do wrong, please? People
nothing, no. Now your enemies. No, not you. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm serious. There's nothing that I heard. That
KJ, can I make my final submission, please?
But you are downstairs making the submissions now. Are we going back again?
No,
you started. I give you first chance. You started. Every other person have doing final submission. So why do we have to come back to you again now? I beg, my brother. Even it's look, I think that's the end of the program. We will just want to thank everybody. Every other person.
I have to go as well. Good night.
Okay, good night, sir. Thank you so much, OT. Thank you, all of you, and those who contributed, who helped us. I mean, I was surprised. Eccentricals, we're not very good friends. What would say he was able to, bless Dr. Rudolph with $10. That's a lot. Thank you so much. Continue to be eccentricals, so we will, the more diverse the ideas, the better for all of us. So everybody can find their level. Thank you so much, eccentrical. And every other person who has been very supportive on this channel today, of course, there are many of them. Many of our people who have hanged with us, even those who ordinarily would have gone to sleep, but they are still here. Thank you all for your contribution. Ndubisi, are you ready? You are still driving now, my brother. Take it. Don't worry. We'll have your opinion another time, okay? Thank you. So that and now I'm make the no saying that because of us. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, CM, for being here. We really appreciate your contribution. Dr. Jide, thank you so much. Also, the comrade himself, thank you for coming in and giving us the comrade level of things. Jim, thank you so much.
Have a good night. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night too. Thank you. And Chim, thank you also. We really appreciate your coming back to say good night. And Forefather, you came a different style today. I don't know. This is your new look. Is it the babe look or you
have a good night?
All right, Jide. This is your new look. It's like somebody who is going for a hunting something, but I won't say what you're going for.
No, it's just a temporary thing. The heart is gonna go next time. I don't like to look like a boy, like a playboy. I'm a serious man.
I didn't say seriously, but now you talk. All right, thank you so much.
I'll be doing a show after now because this discussion I think is important. CM, if you want to join, you can join. Mine is evidence based. If you want to join, you can join. But
for
I
those who
think
want
it's
to
about
join,
time we had
I
this
think we'll have
conversation.
about 118 people who want. If you want to join,
Yeah.
please, Forefather will be starting a stream, and you don't need to be looking for time. Individuals, just hold on. You join Forefather, he's starting a stream, and then you all can be.
You want to share the link here?
I don't have it.
Good
I don't have the
night.
link. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Individuals, just hold on. Forefather is starting a stream. Okay. All right. Good night. Thank you so much. Are you parked now? All right, Uchim, thank you. All right, thank you to yes, Father, thank you. See you soon. All right, that is the end of our broadcast today. Many questions, few answers, or many answers that are debatable and that we're all struggling to be able to handle. But the question we all agree and going away from this broadcast is that something drastic needs to be done. Nigeria cannot continue the way it's going. We need to, as some of the panelists have said, to have an ethnic nationality conference, otherwise called as like a referendum where people of different tongues and tribes will decide whether they want to be in or they want to be out. That's one. Two, or we'll have a different setup of governance. If you ask me, I would suggest that every tribe, every tongue in Nigeria will go sit down and have representatives from those people that will come to the National Assembly. And based on that, they will discuss the way forward, because they would have had a meeting initially with their people to come up to that level. Whether the tribe is, whether there are 5 in their tribe or there are 100 or 200 million, they will send 2 or 3 representatives and we'll all sit down and have that listen. I also think that the National Assembly, as it is now, should be broken, and the election should be based on the tribes, that is on the tribes, different tribes in Nigeria and different regions. We can even have a regional national assemblies instead of having each state with their own national assembly. Regional national assemblies where every tribe will have the same level of vote, whether you like 100 million or you are 100,000, and we'll all be able to discuss harmoniously everything that needs to be done, and everybody will adhere to the rule of law. The law should not be it should not be favorable to one side and not be favorable to the other. However, if we don't decide on the way we want to go forward, people should be allowed to either move away in the country as it is now to form their own country. The truth is, the matter remains, we are all not going to accept to be in the way we are now. And the issues facing Nigeria needs beyond just a knee-jerk approach to it. We are tired of fire brigade approach. As we go into 2026, by the grace of God, we need to change our style. The Igbos have a proverb. When the rhythm of the drum changes, the dance step should equally change. The rhythm of the drum beats in the world all over has changed. Africa cannot be different, and certainly not Nigeria. One of the painful things for me as a Nigerian is that Africa looks up to us to provide the way forward. We have fallen to even look upon ourselves to be able to provide solution for the black race. I keep repeating, one of the mottos I like so much in Nigeria is the motto that comes from UNN, which says what? The restoration of the dignity of man, the dignity of the black man. If we don't restore it, being the most the location where we have the biggest or the most of black people, who will? If we don't take our rightful place, who will? If we continue to play tribal or regional or even sentimental politics and policy, who will change the status quo? That question I leave for all of us as we go ponder on it. If we continue to the way we are going, how do we make a way forward, and what shall we be leaving for our children? On that faithful note, we want to thank you for being with us. Remember that Forefather is starting a broadcast, and he will take it up from where we have stopped it. Until that, I say thank you so much, and we have a good weekend. We will do special broadcasts during the holidays. So if you are going to be spending your holiday somewhere that you can listen to us, we'll probably have a broadcast, and you can also join in. Until then, have a Merry Christmas, and please stay safe. Thank you.
I never